81 mile an hour, that. Be full of adrenaline, butterflies.
He sort of, for me, he looks like a school kid, really, Tom Curran. Next delivery's a bit better, seams in, and well, that ball's scraped away by Hope, and he's off the mark.
I wonder whether Gale's going to take a fancy to Curran here. Thinking, right, I know you're starting with your career. I'm quite settled in mine right now.
He's hit some big shots, hasn't he, in these one days? He's been great to watch, Gale.
Such a good record there. 273 one-day internationals he's taking part in.
Just flexing his legs there, trying to get the feet moving, Chris Gale. And yet to score, 0 from 6. And here we go. Oh, that hits him on the pad, and it was hopping over the stumps, I fancy, but just seemed to catch him a little bit by surprise. 84.5 miles an hour. So Gale yet to get going, but when he does, he could start with a 6, couldn't he? And then you think, oh well, he ain't struggling after all. 0 for 7. You know, could end up being 12 from 9. Next delivery, and I think he leaves that one just outside the off stump. Didn't need to bother chasing after it.
A nice bit of shape that from Curran as it moved away from Gale. He was well wide of the off stump for him, but moved a bit, didn't it? Butler did well to dive to his left hand side.
Yeah, it did. Plenty of movement after the fact, really, but it's a good take by wicket keeper. Next ball, and that was pitched up, and well, they thought about the run. It was never on, was it?
No.
Gale's 0 from 9.
Yeah, it's a date start. This is unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, long may it continue, but the likelihood of that is 2 hopes of that. Slim and none. Not Kyle and Shay.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah. Here comes Tom Curran, and he gets it within the tram lines. He flirting with a wide, but evasive action was good, the dot ball. So he's not allowing Gale to get into his stride at all. 0 from 10.
No, really unusual start from them. Kyle Hope's outscoring Gale at the moment.
Yeah, because he's got 1. Long may that continue for him. Anyway, next delivery. Well, he shoulders, it hits him on the pad. Curran wheels away in delight, but his celebration's not fooling anybody because that was missing leg stump.
Yeah. Might as well appeal though, just to test the umpire. We've got the, of course, the new rules that come in from yesterday. The laws of the game. I apologise. They're not going to lose the review on umpire's call.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
So they'll just reboot themselves after 80 overs again. That's still the same thing. I did read down them, some of them the other day. You've got to have your bat in the crease. If it bounces up, you can be given out. If I remember right, it was the opposite way around. I can't remember.
Anyway, that didn't make any sense to me. That 2 for none. I wasn't really listening. Rules. Who cares about rules? Yeah. I want to tell everybody about Sunil Ambris, who we don't know anything about. 24 he is, from St Vincent in the Windward Islands. Apparently he's an opening bat, right-hand bat. Next delivery flicked away, and that is runs. And it might be 2 of them. As Rashid in the deep comes across and picks it up. In fact, tell a lie. That's Hope. So Gale is none from 11. Kyle Hope 3 from 2. And it's Kyle Hope on strike. 2 ball. And again, it squirts off an edge of the bat. They take the single. It puts Gale on strike, who's 0 from 11. 5 for none after just 8 deliveries. Not a great deal of batting. It's a long tail with Taylor, Joseph and Cummins. That's a poor effort from Gale. Good line of length from Ball. And what the ball did was evade the swish of the bat from Gale, whose feet didn't move. So, yeah, Jake Ball doing a good job so far. Good line and length. Been a bit more of a mixed bag from debut boy Tom Curran. Next delivery, missed time shot from Gale, who hits it hard but into the ground, and eventually that ball reaches mid-off. No run.
Yeah, if an umpire's decision is referred to the TV umpire by a team, the on-field decision remains unchanged because the DRS shows umpire's call. The team will not lose the review. Because teams will not lose review for umpire's call, they will not have to have their 2 unsuccessful be replenished after the first 80 overs of an innings in a test.
Next delivery from Ball was an absolute doozy, and again Gale no chance with that. 87.7 mile an hour. Really promising stuff this from Jake Ball. You know, consistency, good line and length, and a fair bit of pace as well.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a bit of maturity there, really, and he's causing a few problems to Chris Gale. Then it's 3 times he's beaten the bat, and close to finding an edge.
Next delivery, and Gale gets that big plank of wood on this one, and finds Plunkett in the field, but he's managed to walk to the other end. Takes the single. Gale's 1 from 15. Yeah, what are the chances of that?
Yeah, highly unusual. You'll like this one, John. A player can now be sent off from the field by the umpire for the rest of a match for serious misconduct. This will apply to most level 4 offences, with level 1 to 3 offences continue to be dealt with under the ICC
so
Code of
what
Conduct.
is a level 4 offence?
I presume that's smacking the umpire or something.
Yeah, you should be sent off for that, shouldn't
yes,
you?
Of course, yeah. I think 1 to 3, that's...
if you punched the umpire before then, he said, well, I'd like to send you off, but I can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't see too much of that. Next delivery. And, well, again, it comes off the bat. There's one more to add on. And it's the first ball of the new over from Curran. 7 for none after 3.1 overs then, and yeah, but decent start.
It is.
And so in comes Curran again. That one seems into the right-hander, and he scrapes it away leg side. He didn't know an awful lot about that, really, the batsman. It's a good delivery.
Yeah, it was quickish off the pitch, wasn't it? There, play down to fine leg. Pick up another run there, but Adil Rashid, he's not in the Ashes squad.
I don't understand it really. I don't understand. I mean, they've taken young Crane, haven't they?
Yeah.
Next delivery, and that just flicked away leg side by Gale. They take a single for it.
So what happens if Moeen Ali has too many shrimps on the barbie one night, wakes up in the morning, poorly tummy, like I can't play. So they are Mason Crane, debut Ashes. Good lad.
No,
good luck, lad.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, however good he is, and I think Crane should be there if he's going to be a big deal, right?
Yeah.
You know, bed him in. But he's almost like a non-playing member of the squad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Next delivery, and he smacks the pad, but was that going down leg side? Umpire wasn't interested anyway, but it was a good delivery.
I can only assume that Adil Rashid is with the Lions, who are also in Australia as well.
Or if not, what will happen is that he'll go for the big bash, won't he? There was a bit of bat before it hit the pad, which is why he wasn't plumb LB there. But he's unlucky, Curran, there, because he only just glanced off the edge. Yeah, he's done well big bash before, hasn't he, Rashid? And it made you think, well, why, given that he's playing well in Australia, is he not playing well in Australia for England? Next delivery blocked away by Kyle Hope, but straight to Owen Morgan. 9 for none.
couple of test matches going off around the world in Stroom in South Africa, filling their boots against Bangladesh. It's like a flat surface that. I was watching it yesterday. No movement for Mehdi Hassan at all. Nothing. 170, north 176 off 55 he's gone for.
Next delivery and well, carved to the man backward a point. Morgan chases it. They'll take the single. In fact, they might have. Did they take that 9 for none still? So apparently not. Yeah, I mean, you look at a team like Bangladesh, and obviously you've got Shakib, the all-rounder, and then you've got spinner Mehdi Hassan Miraz, and they both will play. You know, it seems that team picks itself almost. Then they've got bits and pieces, all-rounders like Mamadullah and people like that, and bowlers. But you know, I still, you know, and then if you've got Pakistan, you've got Yasir Shah. And I'm not saying he would play every game, but I think they back players like that. And it's not as if Rashid is poor with the bat. If he was just a bad, you know, one of those bad batsman spinners, you'd think, oh, no point. Good ball that from Jake Ball. And Gale is 3 from 18 now, and finding life a bit of a struggle against good line and length.
He is. It's a good opening spell, this from Jake Ball. And he's got Chris Gale just playing and missing numerous times now, which is a feather in Jake Ball's cap, isn't it? So
yeah, it sure is. In comes the ball again. Next delivery, and there's a bit of a slog at that, but it's only to Moeen Ali, mistimed effort. And I guess that Gale, he doesn't need to be frustrated. I mean, he will know, right, well, it's not working now. When it does work, I'm going to get 150 deliveries. So I'm not going to frighten myself or get anxious about when it's not working momentarily, you know.
No. He saw what Evan Lewis did the other day. He just hung around for ages.
This next delivery is a bit more like it. He chipped it over the infield. It plugged a bit, so it won't go for 4. And it's a spirited chase. They've only run 2 from that, which is 1 less than anybody who could run probably would have got.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got. I mean, Evan Lewis batted superbly well. Just played his time. Then the shots came easier and easier as the game was going off, and he batted really well. And Gale's got to have that maturity at the top of the order these days, I feel.
Next delivery. This one's hit hard up in the air. That's travelling. And it's way over the boundary rope. There he is. Where's he been?
That length ball, yeah. And he just carts it straight down the ground for 6, knowing that the field is still in, isn't it? So
still in. It'd be a long way out to get that one, wouldn't they? Yeah, getting back to Adil Rashid. In test matches, 10 test matches, they didn't know quite how to bowl him, did they? And I just don't think they did a good job with him. He's averaging with about 18.43, which is like, you know, a batsman who's struggling to make his way, who's a proper batsman. That's another big shot from Gale. And, well, right in the back of the stand, somebody's got to take evasive action. But, wow, some big hitting. And there you go. And everybody laughing.
Yeah. Because
they just love that. It's outrageous, that shot.
And Ball, who's been bowling his line and length deliveries now, and Gale just with 1 shot before he hit that one, has got him all flummoxed, hasn't he? So, you know, 2 big 6s with that, and he's just knocked him off his line slightly.
He's right. You know, yeah, you've done well, haven't you? All of a sudden, biff bang wallop. And it's what we said, isn't it? He now got 14 off this over, and then that's a big hit. That is a big hit. And again, it sails over the rope into the stand. And, well, 3 6s the last 3 balls for Chris Gale. It's audacious and outrageous, and it's what we've come to expect of him.
He was 5 from 20, right? He's now 20, run a ball 23.
Well, I mean, you just know that he does this. You know, it's got him written all over. You weren't worried about the slow start, and neither was he.
No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? 3 6s.
Well, you know, for Ball, he bowled ever so well, nice line and length. But, you know, the batsman caught up with him. And what was plan B there? So I didn't see it.
I didn't see a plan B, no.
Yeah, needs to do better. Tom Curran. Now he comes in. He'd be glad he's bowling to Kyle Hope. And Hope prods it back to him. He thinks about throwing down the stumps. Decides not to. Yeah, Kyle Hope was top scoring, wasn't he, for a while?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
This is good start this from West Indies now.
Yeah, he hit 20 off that over, didn't he, Gale?
20 off that. He was throwing so well, Jake Ball, wasn't it?
It's all too good to be true. In comes Curran. Again, that ball seaming into the right hand. It's a good ball that ties him up. And yeah, they're showing us some of the 6 hits again. And they're disappointed here that Kevin Doyle had to retire from football because of concussions and what have you.
Oh, really? Is that what they were saying? Was that this season then, is it?
Yeah, his last game he again got hit on the temple. Ball hit straight back to Curran again. It's a decent ball from him. He looked very tidy, Curran. So far, we've seen 15 balls and he's gone for just 5 runs in power play. That ain't bad. He's not bowling as quick as Ball. He's got a good scurrying action and just nipping that ball into the right-hander particularly. I don't think he's had to bowl much to Gale. That's going to be the real test of him. Next delivery, and it's a lovely shot straight down the ground for 4. Yeah, it was real whip lash, that one, and just slightly overpitched.
It was overpitched. Nice. He got him driving though, didn't he? So he just needed it to be a little bit slightly away from off stump. I think the angle was just close to the body there, and that allowed Hope just to push across off stump and drive it down the ground.
What do you think about a change in bowling to take Jake Ball off the next over? We've got 2 balls left this current over, but I'm just musing about what could be done. Next delivery. It's fuller, wider. It wasn't a bad ball, and it was hit straight to Morgan.
Maybe we could take the pace off it. Just put Mo and Ali on for a couple of overs.
If Gale's going to launch it anyway,
yeah,
you want him to miss it and hit it straight up in the air.
Yeah.
The ball's coming onto the bat from Ball, and yeah, Carl Hope just feels he missed out that last. But anyway, Curran back to his mark. He's been pretty tidy. If he gets a dot ball here, he'll be going at just 3 and over in power play. It's pretty good. But and he does. So well done to him. So that's 3 overs. It cost him just 9. Sensational stuff from the man on debut. Particularly bearing in mind his first ball was a leg side wide.
Yeah. Yeah, it's excellent stuff, isn't it, to start with? Well fielded as well. So, intriguing battle between the bowlers and the batsmen at the moment. It's unusual, isn't it?
Well, they reckon they're in a great deal in the pitch. They set up the pitch for batting in the limited overs games at Southampton. They want to see some big hits.
Yeah, they certainly do. And Gale's not looking to disappoint here with a run of ball 23. Really taking Jake Ball to the cleaners. I think there's going to be Ball again.
Well, having a word with him, I'm not sure this is a good captaincy. I mean, clearly every time Ball gets hit, you can't think, oh, we've got to take him out. You know, he's got to learn how to get through these kind of challenges. But he didn't have an answer in that last over. He bowled one bad ball after another, and they all got smacked for 6. You know, 3 6s, last 3 balls. He's bowling to Gale again, and Gale just launches him into the stand. So I think, yeah, you know, the skipper's got a lot to answer to there. 4 ball, he's on top of him now, and he's pummeling him into the ground,
yeah.
isn't he?
That's a fair short ball, isn't it? There, just stepped away, carved him.
I mean, we both fancy hitting that. I mean, he's still getting short. That's a sip and beg sort of delivery from a bowler who's now lost the plot. Whatever they said to him didn't add up to a hill of beans before he bowled that ball. Why would you chuck one in half tracker like that?
I think he's scrambled, and I don't think he's got enough confidence to say what he wants to do.
Next delivery, and well, this one goes backwards off the bat, but that's gone for 6 as well. So, 4. I think he bounced just in front of the rope. That wasn't that bad a ball, but again, he's bowling short, and so it just allows a man with a big plank of wood to get something on it.
Yeah.
And you know it's going to travel.
Doesn't quite know. He could come up with some Yorkers to Gale, surely. I mean, if everything's just, 85 miles an hour half trackers, no wonder you're being carted off the place.
Yeah, this doesn't bode well, does it?
He doesn't seem like, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he doesn't seem a sort of, I'm going to bully you type of bowler. He just wants the batsman to make one mistake, and that's what he's hoping for. Force him into a mistake. You know what I mean? It just seems to me like a shy character to me.
Well, he comes running in again. And this is in the block hole, and that has travelled 4-6. So I tell you what, he's making a mess of this, Gale, because he only got 4 that last delivery, and the one before, which sandwiched in between his 2 big 6s. Disappointing. I think he could be getting 6 6s off this kid. So, and it's not a great ball. I mean, either short or in the slot. The good line and length has absolutely deserted Jake Ball.
Yep, he needs to pitch it further up.
Right then, next delivery, and he follows Gale, who backed away a little bit, and he only gets a single. Woohoo!
50's up for West Indies in the 7th. Yeah, maybe a little bit more in that one, but just, there needs to be. He's just bowling half trackers in his arc, isn't he?
I say I had the Tiger from Ball, do you? When he comes in, I mean, everybody's different. You don't see anger, do you? Fast bowlers are angry. What I'm seeing is vague disappointment.
Yeah,
I want a little bit more than that,
Yeah,
some passion. But I mean, like we said, everybody's built different. You remember Devon Malcolm?
Yeah.
You have to slap him across the face, wouldn't you, to get a reaction out of him? Next delivery, and that one flicked off the hips. Nice shot. Rashid comes around. He should be able to stop it. And a good bit of relay fielding with Billings.
You guys are history. It's the South Africans. He got nine wickets. Don't hit Devon Malcolm on the head with a bouncer.
Yeah, that's it.
You guys are history. Is allegedly what he said.
Well, he's such a nice man. Yeah, I've met him, and he immaculate as well. Every inch an England cricketer at the time. Well, this next delivery beats the bat. That's better. That's better. Ball into the right hander, but he couldn't cope. Ball into the lefty. He got it right for an over and a half, 2 overs, and he got smacked to smithereens. I really blame Morgan there. I just think on your feet. There are times, whichever bowler it is, and I don't care about reputation, where you've got to put even your front line bowler away and say, right, come back in a little bit. Yeah. But he Gale had got his measure, and that was that. So it's cost needless runs there for us to reaffirm that Gale has got his measure.
Yeah, certainly. 10 and over. 10.75 balls gone for 43 off 4. I mean,
don't get me wrong, because that can happen.
Oh yeah,
But let it be off a slow. If he's going to slog anything, then decide. Well, if once he's gone, ball will bowl better to more orthodox players, and then he can make inroads. No point wasting him now. You could bring a stock bowler in if he's going to try that, or one of your slow bowlers to try and induce a false stroke, that kind of thing.
He's on 40.
I know, it's a joke, that, isn't it? 40 from 27. Next delivery from Curran. He looked like he took the pace off that, and the ball just hits the bat. It's a good delivery.
And that's how Woke got him the other day. He bowled a few cutters in, and he got one that didn't, and went across him. He was caught in the slip. So if Curran's got the tricks here, he could take the pace off it and get Gale playing a full shot, perhaps, maybe caught somewhere. But it's difficult with the power play because you've only got 2 men out there. So, but what you got to do is make sure you get one to just fox him a little bit.
Next delivery, and he moves out of the way. Curran bowls at the stumps. He loops it up in the air. Then it's a catch, and he's out. Brilliant from the debutant Curran. Good catch from Plunkett. Gale has gone. And that was with a slow ball. Well, Paul, you talked him into that. He bowled 70 mile an hour, and that was spooned up in the air. And that was great from Curran.
Yeah, he took the real pace off it, and Gale, he knew straight away, didn't he? As soon as he's made an error there, he's gone forward. So he's had to force it, and he's gone off the back foot, and all he's done is spooned it right up in the air. And I tell you what, a sensational catch from Liam Plunkett. Over his shoulder, never easy. He's got to dive and watch it straight into his hands, and a first ODI wicket for Tom Curran.
What a wicket as well. I mean, he is absolute damage, isn't he? You know, anyway, Universe Boss trudges off. He's 40 from 29. I mean, that's a pretty typical cameo from Chris Gale. But what a wicket for young Tom Curran. I didn't think much of him scampering in, bowling at 85 mile an hour. I thought, really? But you know what? You get your line and length right. You mix up your speeds. His slower ball. He bowled a slow ball the ball before, and I thought, you're not going to go back to the well with that.
No.
If anything, I think he took even a bit more pace off it.
Yeah.
That's really bold from him. You know, you're bowling at somebody you know could launch you over the ropes, and yet you're going to throw in this slow ball out the back of his hand, and it's right at the wicket. Dernbach used to do that, and he'd always be wide of the mark.
Yeah.
Gale had to hit that because it's going to go hit his stumps. You know, it was perfect that from Curran.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it needed to be as well, because Chris Gale was causing a lot of problems for England there.
Look at his body shape as he comes to hit that ball. I mean, he very nearly played on anyway, didn't he? He booted his stumps back, but he backed out the way. And he's left himself nowhere to go.
He knew, didn't he? As soon as he hit that, he knew that he'd not got enough or anything near enough on it.
Well, look at joy on Curran's face.
Good for the lad. Really pleased for him. His first Test match wicket is Chris Gale. Tee at Potchefstroom. South Africa 496 for 3. There it is, a road. Duplessis and Bavuma in at the moment. In Abu Dhabi, Sri Lanka were 419 all out. Pakistan reply 15 without loss.
Next delivery, and that sees Shea Hope. Well, actually nice to see the Hope brothers batting together, because that, although they've been in the same team, it's just not happened at all, really. I'm not sure that they have ever managed to bat together. So here we go, the brothers, which is nice. You know.
I think they crossed, so that was Kyle Hope with the first ball there.
Shea Hope at the other end yet to face, who the more established of the two, although Kyle's the older. There's Kyle, it's a lovely shot, really iffy fielding there by Moen, and that's 4 runs.
Yeah, it was a half slide, wasn't it, or something? Didn't really get enough on it, but fuller of length, that from Tom Curran. Well watched by Kyle Hope and driven down the ground for 4, and he's doing all right. 15 off 17.
Yeah, Curran economy rate's been good. He's got the big wicket now, where anything that comes after is a bonus. Morgan right to keep Curran in there, but now he could probably continue with ball now that the big man's gone. 56 for 1. Next delivery is to Shea Hope, although Curran can't field it off his run-up. It's no damage done. Dot ball, 1 ball left of the over. Great figures for Tom Curran.
Yeah, certainly is. 1 ball to come, yeah, you're right. I don't realise how far in the forest it is, Southampton's ground. Aegeus, or whatever it's called these days.
Yeah, Rose Bowlers.
Oh yeah, Rose Bowl.
Kind of know it, don't we? But I think it's called the Aegeus Rose Bowl. That's a good delivery from Curran. Beats the batsman. Kyle Hope is shuffling across his stumps there, and that ball narrowly misses the edge on the offside at about 82 mile an hour. But well, the argument is you have to be quick if you're Glenn McGrath, do you? Line and length, and if you bowl well enough, then you get your rewards. Now Chris Gale got plenty of runs off ball who had no answer, but Tom Curran found an answer. He took him on, he bowled his slow ball, he had the courage of his convictions out the back of his hand. He bowled a perfect slow ball that was going to hit the stumps. When Gale backed away, then he's off the back foot, he's off balance, and all he can do to stop the ball hitting the stumps is spoon it up in the air. I mean, the fans are loving Curran out there at the boundary, and rightly so.
So it looks like they haven't taken Jake Ball off. Because Chris Gale's out. So, Ball had gone around the park and Curran takes the wicket.
Yeah, well, Ball continues then to Shea Hope. Decent delivery, good line of length to the right-hander. Dot ball. You're not flying any more ball, and the wings have been taken off him by Gale.
He just needs to bowl some tidy overs now. I think he just desperately wants sort of a maiden or no more than 3 from it or something, doesn't he?
Well, needs to get in amongst the wickets, really, doesn't he? So, in he comes. Next delivery. Good line of length again. I mean, that which is all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I was calling for him to go to the Ashes. I think Australia would suit him, but he just ain't there yet, is he? And people who look vaguely sort of disappointing, who are not quite sharp enough. It's a difficult learning curve and hard yakka in hot weather in Australia if you're not getting it right. Next delivery and just straight middle and leg and worked to mid-wicket for a single.
I think they've been desperately unlucky, England, with not having Mark Wood fit. Because even though he comes off small steps, he can generate 90-mile-an-hour pace, no problem. And it'd suit him in the quicker surface of Perth and that. And he did so well against Australia before, didn't he? In the
and he's not a bad batsman either, is he?
No, that's it. He can hold an end, can't he?
Anyway, Ball running in, 4th ball of this over, and that one, well, squirts off an edge, picked up back with a point, no run. Yeah, well, and if we remember back in the day, players who didn't really rate much of a mention otherwise, players like Tremlett had succeeded in Australia.
Yeah, Finn to a certain extent.
Exactly,
as well, first time around, yeah.
It does suit a big man who, a bit taller off those hard surfaces. Next delivery, and again flick down leg side, but there is a man there for that one that goes fine. That's Rashid, so there's no run.
Well, it's going to be a huge test for England. So, and it all starts in 23rd of November, something like that, doesn't it? And we're on for the first 5 days.
The Cabot. Next delivery, and it's a short ball that's pummeled to the boundary. I thought the boundary rider might just get there, but it hurried past whoever that was, and the deep.
5 from it, so relatively it's
great.
The date over.
Right, it's a comeback, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a poor ball that last. Again, sit up and beg, too short. The ball can't afford to do that, and if he does that in Australia, you go for too many. I think for a tall man, you've got to pitch it up in Australia. Anything that you put remotely short, he's just going to hop over the stumps, and then therefore he's a leave.
Yeah.
Don't allow batsmen chance not to bother even playing you. Then they're working out if you're short enough where to hit you. But you're not going to trouble them. You have to pitch it up there. By and large, I think his action brings him too short.
Yeah.
And he's like a groove that he's worn, he can't get out of. Next delivery, and it's Curran. And he pitched that up to some degree, and the batsman off the back forces it back to him. That was a bit quicker, and he's mixing up his pace nicely. That was 86 mile an hour.
Yep. He's certainly got a bag of tricks and trying to get people out, and he's got the big wicket of Chris Gale, who's quickly into his hoodie. And he's done his little stint, 40 off 29.
Yeah, next delivery, and it's a drive straight to the fielder, but I think they might have taken the single off that. 62 for 1.
Hope 19. So
yeah, Carl's done pretty well opening. Big shoes to fill. Evan Lewis, who looks a pretty decent player. That was a great innings last time around. As Curran comes in, kept it very tight, and again pitches up. This one drilled. That same fielder picks it up. Who is that?
Milan.
David Milan.
12th man, so who's he on for? When he's still got his labels and his back of his jumper there.
They got the singlet inside out. Anyway, it's a decent stop from him. Made sure that the ball wasn't going to get past him. And scoreboard moves on, 64 for 1. 3 balls left of Curran's over. As the ball straight to the covers. Certainly no runs there. Good throw in from Billings. And I think power play will be on as even, really. I don't think anybody necessarily ahead. But England will be thrilled that they've got Gale out. That's just the truth, you know. However, the power play had gone. If they got that one big wicket, then he can do no more damage in the stand. As the next delivery, it's straight to Billings again, and fields it off his chest, but they didn't run off the misfield.
Yeah, you're right. Barring the belligerent Gale innings, 40 off 29, England have really, done particularly well in this.
Well, Curran's bowled well, hasn't he?
Really well, yeah.
So 5 overs from him have been good. And I'm just looking at that Chicago at Green Bay last night.
Green Bay, yeah.
Wow, lightning stopped play, didn't it, for a while, I think.
Fair storm popping in, weren't they?
Next delivery. Again, hit to the fielder without enough pace that Milan really can't throw down the stumps there before they get to the other end. So, power play done and dusted, and I think, like we said, honours even, really. England will just be delighted they got Gale out. Gale got some good, quick and easy runs off ball, and did his usual, put smiles on faces, and then got out of there.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I'm sure he would have liked to have gone on a little bit more, a bit like Evan Lewis did the other day, but he mistimed a length ball, didn't he? Scooped it up into the air, and it was a great catch from Plunkett, wasn't it, to get the first wicket of the day. So, end of the power play, and we're going to see Liam Plunkett coming on now. And he's bowled particularly well. He got only a tap in the last one for 67. But in my mind, he is England's one-day international bowler of the year. I think he's done superbly, especially at Bristol the other week when he got 5 for. And in he'll come now then. Right arm over, one slip in, it's driven by Hope down the ground and well fielded there. And Moeen Ali, one more to the total, 66 for 1.
Again, I don't know if he bowled scrambled seam there and tried to take the pace off it. I think if Jake Ball had Liam Plunkett's mind about how he works out, what he's going to do and the plans he executes, then he'd be a much better bowler. Plunkett's a man with plans. He's not only quick, he's got control, and he's got many ways to go about his work.
Plunkett bowls a fuller delivery outside off stump, and Shy Hope can only drive it to cover, and there's no run. It's, you're right, Ball needs to start thinking about taking the pace off it to the cut, and if you're going around the park, do something.
Well, if you bowl T20 regularly enough, then you get all, you've got to do, not just bowl in the nets, your little bits and pieces of I can do this or do that. You've got to actually take it out there and go through your repertoire.
It comes in again. Shy Hope drives, and it's just slightly away from Moeen Ali, and get a single for it. One more to the total, 67 for 1. And Hope's 23, Kyle Hope's 23, Shy Hope's 3. So starting this England innings. Sins will be happy with the start there, as in comes Plunkett down the leg side. That should be a wide. And all eyes are on the weather today in Southampton. Don't think we're going to get anything, but you never know. No, it looks like we're going to be fairly dry but cloudy all day. I think maximum temperature now at 18. So it's going to be chilly. In comes Plunkett again, as he got Kyle Hope driving down the ground, well fielded there. A single. by Jake Ball. Could have been a boundary. He's done well. One more to the total, 69 for 1. And England have a good field in that front ball. On the stretch, and easy for a tall man to get down. And Plunkett goes back to his mark. 4 runs conceded off this over so far, and he comes out short. And Shy Hope jumps up, knocks it down. There's no run. Not too sure whether he wanted a single out of that. There was definitely not one. And yeah, 69 for 1. 1 ball left in this over. Plunkett back to his mark. And he comes now. This one's looped up behind square. Too sure Shy Hope knew a great deal about it. The throw comes in and they come back for a second. I think they've done that, yeah. They stuck at 1. No, just the 1. 70 for 1 at the end of the 11th over. Mistimed that one slightly. 70 for 1.
Yeah, again, we sort of get into a sleepier part of the game, don't we? And we mentioned that it's a really important stage. England do really well in one days now, where because of the strength of the batting, they never seem to get slowed down or bogged down in this period. But we've seen it happen to Windies, haven't we? Where Marlon Samuels in particular had really found it difficult to gain momentum. And you know, and if England bowl well enough again with Ali and Rashid, and if there's anything in it for them, they can keep it tight, then, you know, all of a sudden these which seem like boring overs really, or a boring period of the game, could sort of be the death knell. At this point, England would have, you know, you assume, however many wickets down in power play, would just continue at that sort of 5-6 runs and over,
yeah,
and just keep it rolling. Windies can't afford to have that run rate drop down to something like, you know, 4 and over. But here is Adil Rashid now. So the two hopes have got to be positive.
That's a bold move, isn't it? Is it from Owen Morgan? Not usually like that. He's got to slip in. In comes Rashid then to Shy Hope, who watches that one through to Butler. We never usually see Rashid in this early at all from Owen Morgan. But he's trying to get him in while England have sort of got a little bit of control at the moment. Here comes Rashid again. This one's left alone by Shy Hope. There's a little bit of turn there. There was no turn the other day at the Oval. Sometimes there was. This one maybe get something. A bit of grip, perhaps. Here comes Rashid again. This one tossed up, driven by Shy Hope. Straight to the field at extra cover though. No run. And good start this from Rashid. Ground right next to a golf course.
Yep.
Here comes Rashid again. He gets Shy Hope playing down the ground. Who gets a single? Yes, he does. Straight to Tom Curran, who has to be a little bit quicker there.
Yeah, just on his haunches a little bit there. Yeah, quite pleasant, isn't it? I think I haven't been to Southampton, but I believe it's quite nice. A friend from Eastleigh and says it's a nice place to live. I think all the South Coast seems to be quite nice.
Comes Rashid to Kyle Hope. He tries to bowl the googly, but ended up being a little bit straighter.
Had good nights out in Bournemouth and
nice.
Portsmouth as well. That's another good night out. Brighton too.
Here comes Rashid. This one's driven by Hope. They pick up 1 at least. Fielder Billings comes around. They come back for the second. Yeah, they make that. So just 3 from that over. A good over that. Good start from Rashid.
Yeah, it was not bad at all. You know, leggies can go for a few. I wonder, we're going to get spin from both ends. That gets to the overs quickly, although he just brought Plunkett on, so unlikely. Yeah, it's a decent start. The game is a good one. I don't see why England should race away with it. I think ultimately they have just got a stronger team. Obviously if Joseph bowls like he did the other day, then it may not be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
And equally there'd be a smattering of complacency. Also, you know, the publicity, it's all been about the wrong thing, hasn't it, for England?
comes Plunkett. This one's driven by Hope through the covers. They'll get one, maybe two. Bairstow's out there with a throw. No, they stick at one. And yeah, it's about turning, talking off the cricket into what's happening on the field, isn't it? And positive stuff they can get, you know. Curran can get a fifer or something, you know, mentioning it again. Not a packed crowd at Southampton. This one's short, pulled around the corner by Kyle Hope, straight to the fielder at deep square. Billings gets a throw in, and it's one more. Kyle Hope 27, Shy Hope on 6. 13th over, 75 for 1. Too short that from Plunkett, really. But he got away with it a little bit. Yeah, temperatures later on. The other night over, it was quite warm and everything. In comes Plunkett. This one's played late by Shy Hope. There's no run. But as soon as the sun went in, sort of 5-ish or whatever it is, there's blankets being pulled out and everything, big coats and whatnot. I'm
not surprised. Weirdly, I mean, you know, September's have been lovely months in the last few years. It's the one benefit of global warming that September and October have actually been quite nice, you know. You'd always think winter was starting, and of course it gets dark pretty soon, doesn't it? But they've been nice enough months.
Comes Plunkett again. This one's a little bit quicker. Hope plays it through mid-wicket. It'll pick up a single. They'll fielder the by ball eventually. Hope, Shy Hope moves on to 7, and West Indies 76 for 1. Yeah, reasonably they have been, haven't they? It's the latest that England have ever played in their own at home. And it's the latest the county championship has ever finished, which was yesterday. We saw Middlesex relegated. Wow, from winning the title, relegation the next year, easy can be done. As Plunkett comes in, this one off the hips by Kyle Hope. It's up a single, 28 without loss. End of the over. Is it? No, one ball left, sorry. Plunkett 0 for 9 off 1.5. And see Sam Billings out there. Pretty good fielder. Can't break into this ODI side. It's a pretty strong team to break into. Plunkett comes driven by Shy Hope. That's a nice looking shot. Chase here for Bairstow. He does well to scoop the ball up on the boundary. It slips as well. Gets the throw in, and they come back for 2. And good work that from Bairstow.
Yeah, he's a good fielder, isn't he? And they got him and Billings on the boundary rope. Team full of wicket keepers. Not a bad thing. They tend to be decent fielders, don't they?
They are. Look at this again. See Bairstow slip when he. That's it. Almost falls over. Gets the throw in. That's the end of the over then. 13 overs gone. 79 for 1. Run rate 6. An over. Shy Hope's 9. Kyle Hope is 28. And England will. Well, they've turned this around a little bit the last few overs, haven't they? So they were 65 for 1, so they've only got 14 off the last 3 overs. As Rashid will continue as well, so I'm afraid to ring the changes. Bairstow just stretching his shoulder and neck there when he was on the slide there. But England's one-day side, you know, the side they've got looks fairly well balanced, doesn't it, when they get it right.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, there's still a couple of weak links for England, though.
In comes Rashid then to Kyle Hope. That's a good ball. Got him playing back into the googly, the wrong un.
I think, you know, Inspire putting Johnny Bairstow opening with Hales. Obviously, you want Hales back in your best one-day team.
In comes Rashid. This one, Kyle Hope tries to loft him down the ground, but hits the inside of his foot. Something quite similar to what Lewis did the other day.
Well, that can really hurt, can't it? But where did he catch his own foot? Right in the toe end. It's got to hurt that.
As Rashid now, the ball. And it's back now. Outside, guided down by Kyle Hope through third man. Chase on here for Jake Ball, can he stop the ball going over the boundary? He can, so he gets the throw in, and they come back for 3.
Yeah, good run in that. Nice deft shot, using the pace of the ball. And they're just clipping it away fine. Rashid, he's doing all right. Just need to keep his focus though. One loose ball and it's a boundary, and then all the hard work's undone.
Shy-Hope faces up to Rashid, then whipped off his pads in front of square. Pick up a single. It's 83 for 1. Carl 31 not out from 35 now. Shy-Hope 10 from 18. Rashid only going for 7 then in his 10 balls so far. In he comes again. This one's tossed up and it held its line, that the orthodox leg spinner. One ball to come. Good ball that. It's held its line a little bit more than I thought it did. Rashid tries again. Final ball of the over. This one tossed up outside off somebody. It came back into Kyle Hope, but he guided it away. He watched it well. Got across his stumps, punched it into the covers, picks up 2, and does well.
Yeah, good run in that. The throw from Billings wasn't bad, but they were home. Yeah, they were having to work hard and doing what England would do in the same circumstance, which is work the singles and turn ones into twos when they can. Keep that scoreboard ticking over. Like we said, they just cannot allow themselves to be becalmed and for it to go all sleepy, because England won't do that.
No.
England are pretty good at that. Stats suggest that in all parts of the game they're pretty good at first power play. Certainly England are at the top of the stats for the next batch of overs until that second and final power play, and England do finish strongly as well because they've got a strong batting lineup. There's no great weakness in England's batting, I don't think.
No. It just seems more of a settled side than the Test team, doesn't it? Really, right now. They've worked constantly on this team for the last 2.5 years, haven't they? Strauss did say it would be a priority, didn't he? Really. So.
I think that we forget the last tournament, but they were going quite well in that, and it was a shame they'd caught Pakistan at a time when they just seemingly got everything sorted out.
This one's driven. Yeah, you lose to the eventual champions, and you think, well, it's not that bad. It's knockout cricket, though, isn't it? You can have one bad day.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, they played ever so well in the games leading up to that when they could have afforded to lose one. Indeed, I felt that the victories almost papered over the cracks for England. There were 1 or 2 that could have been taken out a long time before they were, to allow England to work out their best formation. It never really happened, did it?
No. Plunkett's in. This one's driven by Shy-Hope. Gets a single, moves on to 11. West Indies 86 for 1. You're right. There was times when England in the first game went for 300 against Bangladesh. You were fearing the worst, weren't you?
Yeah.
In the opening match.
It was like they managed to get through sticky opposition with 2 if not 3 failures out of the 11 in every game. And you can't afford to do that at that level.
Well, this one's driven back to him. Plunkett takes the wicket. It's caught and ball from Liam Plunkett, and he grabs another wicket in a successful one-day international summer. The second wicket has fallen, and that's a loose shot from Kyle Hope there. He's just played the ball back to the bowler, and England make the breakthrough. The second wicket has fallen, and Liam Plunkett is the man to get it.
He sure is, and leading edge straight back to him, but it's a terrific catch. I mean, the catch for Gale was good, but this, in the follow-through of his run, he's sliding, and he picks it almost off his ankles down on that left-hand side, one-handed. In the follow-through, that is something, and, well, Kyle Hope's done pretty well there, hasn't he? 33 from 38, but in the end, caught in 2 minds. Was he going to sweep it through leg side? What was he going to do with that ball? In the end, it was a good ball. He did nothing, and Plunkett strikes again.
Yeah, super knock that from Kyle Hope. It's not easy coming into the side, is it, when you've been in the cold for a little while? So it's 33 and 38. He annoyed at the same time that perhaps thought he could have gone on and on, but offering the ball back to the bowler. A good catch by Liam Plunkett, low down to his left-hand side with one hand. And he'll have the breakthrough there. 95th. Might be 96th one-day international wicket for Liam Plunkett. And England are just wrestling this back now, John, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah, they're trying hard, aren't they? You know, they just keep on going, don't they? And yeah, it's a good England side, really. Plunkett's such a good player, and yeah, he alive to that. A very good catch from him.
Well, Marlon Samuels is in now. He's largely failed the last couple of innings. He got 1 out LBW from 7 the last one. He was clubbed, and then he got 11. He fended one behind off the bowling of Plunkett the last time, and Plunkett's got him. If he gets Marlon Samuels walking across his stumps again, then there's a big chance he can get him again here. He does seem to have a little bit of his number, so it's good to see England pressing forward. It looks like South Africa have declared 496 for 3, so Bangladesh are in now. Liton Das is in for his 5th Test match. Imral Cage, we know how difficult and a good batsman he is. In comes Plunkett then to Samuels, plays it down the leg side, his leg slip in, there's no run. Bangladesh are 9 without loss in their first innings. Alexander moved on to 31 without loss in reply to Sri Lanka's 419. It looks a good track, doesn't it, at Professor Room?
Yeah, that's right. Plenty of runs, but maybe a bit dull.
Plunkett's in this one short to Samuels, 86 miles an hour when he gets Samuels ducking underneath that, taken by Butler. It's the end of the over, end of the 15th over, 86 for 2 then, and England make the breakthrough with the wicket of Kyle Hope. That was Liam Plunkett with the wicket. He's 1 for 12 from 3.
He's doing well, Plunkett, isn't he, your man? 1 for 12 from 3, not going for many, he's causing problems, and yeah, it's all good, isn't it? So I think England will be delighted the way things have gone. You know, into the middle order now, and like we said, Marlon Samuels, he's got a job on, tried to score quickly now.
She comes in to Shy Hope, who waited for that one, push it to the offside, it was a single, and again, I just can't see what Plunkett's done wrong, not to get in the Ashes squad, you know. So, but who am I then to pick the 11? It's just interesting. Chris Gale sharing a joke there, big smile on his face. Got 40 today off 29 balls. Some huge sixes off Jake Ball. In comes Rashid then as Samuels waters that through to Butler. No run. And Rashid back to his mark. Into a bit of a groove at the moment. 0 for 10. 0 for 2. Here comes again, slip in there for Samuels, who drives. Will pick up a single. Fielded out to Jason Roy, who batted really well the other day. And Bairstow put on a good start for England. Before Bairstow fell for 39 of 51, and Jason Roy was 84 off 66. In fact, he was the first one to go. He was batted really well. In comes Rashid then. Just one up for Hope. It's backwards square. The dive on there for Ball. Good work there from the tall Nottinghamshire bowler. And it's 1 more to the total.
So yeah, Windies 89 for 2. Still going along okay. They haven't quite been becalmed. They you know, need Marlon to do something good today, and you know, not to go in his shell a little bit, which he can do at times. As next to he blocks away, he's 1 from 5. But this isn't like Gale 1 from 5 or whatever, is it? You know, he's got some shots, but yeah, I think they've got their work cut out now.
Here comes Rashid then to Marlon Samuels, who drives the ball back to him. Again, Samuel's just looking like he wants to be there for the entire 50 overs, doesn't he? He's not a man to be hurried at all. Just see the amount of shots he just get. 1-4 and 5 sixes he hit in his 40. It certainly was a cameo for your money's worth, wasn't it, today? I mean, he's done really, really well there as Chris Gale, after a really slow start as well. But England have wrestled it back now. West Indies 89 for 2 after 16. A couple more wickets to try and change it here. Plunkett will continue. 2 Yorkshire bowlers on. Here comes Plunkett. The floodlights are on. So he's back to a point. There's no run. You see the shadows then on the bowlers. So it's going a little bit overcast. Perhaps something in it for the swing bowlers. May just won the change. Tom Curran in for Chris Wokes. Just resting Wokes before heavy workload in Australia, no doubt. Given a chance to see Curran. So driven by Hope, well fielded by Owen Morgan there at extra cover. Putting the squeeze on and the pressure on here on the West Indies. They've only hit 24. They've lost 2 wickets. Sorry, 24 for 1. After 6 overs in this second power play, so really good stuff from England to wrestle it back. Here comes Plunkett. This one's played off the pads by Hope, and he's not happy. Furiously can't get it away. And England have got Australians in a bit of a pickle at the moment because can't seem to free their arm.
No, it's right. Marlon 1 from 6, and in the match situation when he comes in, there's 2 wickets down. He can't be expansive really, and it takes him a while to get going. But by the time he does, it's almost like damage has been done.
Comes Plunkett then to Hope, who plays this down to wideish third man and gets a single. 1 more to the total. 90 for 2 then. Liam Plunkett and Adil Rashid at the moment, bowling really, really well. And, getting them back in the game. Very relaxed Chris Gale in the crowd. Is that the last time we'll see him in England? I wonder.
Yeah, it could be.
Here comes Plunkett. He gets Samuel playing forward. Hope wants to sing. Sorry, Samuels wanted a single. Now Samuel's got a rep for this, hasn't he? Running batsmen out or getting close.
Well, in essence, they all do. They don't like eye contact, do they, with each other? I don't know what it is or why they feel that they can't scream and shout at each other, but they don't. And so I think they all can be a little bit guilty of it, in my opinion.
In comes Plunkett then to Samuels down the leg side, and that'll be a wide. Disappointing that from Plunkett. Seemed to run, but never mind. Rule changing back an extra. I think any buys or leg buys scored off a no ball can now be scored separate. The ball had 1 no ball put against his or her name, and the other extras will be scored as buys. Previously buys and leg buys scored off no balls were scored as no balls. Plunkett again, so played up the hits by Samuels, and he moves on to 2. And it's 92 for 2 after 17. We really are putting the squeeze on now. Got plenty of time to go, of course. Still 33 overs left for the West Indies. Plenty of batting to come as well.
Yeah, not quite reached the 3 figures yet. They're 3 overs away from 20 overs, with the run rate on its way down. I talked about the fact that they couldn't go sleepy when they're about 6.5 runs and over, but they've done just that. Marlon Samuels 2 from 8, and now he's a good player and he can get going. Shea Hope, he's another class act as well, 14 from 27. If these two are going to be slow, then they've got to build the bedrock and allow them steady progress so they can absolutely fling the bat the last 10 overs or so.
Rashid comes into Samuels, who guides it to backward point, and there's no run there. He didn't want anything to do with that, I felt, and fair enough. But again, a slow start for West Indies in the second power play after losing Gale. And England have doing well. In comes Rashid again. This one gets Samuels driving to cover Owen Morgan, who didn't have a great day on Wednesday rather. At cover, dropped a couple. difficult chances, I'll gather. But he also spilled a few as well. In comes Rashid, then gets Samuel's drive in, then Morgan beats him. There'll be one though. It's fielded out to Jason Roy. It's long off. One more to the total, 93 for 2. And, really good stuff from England. And they'll just want to keep the pressure on. In comes Rashid again. This one to Hope, plays on the leg side. There's no run.
I wonder why, given that there wasn't an awful lot in the pitch, why they decided to have a ball today. It didn't seem to make a great deal of sense.
Maybe they fancy chasing. Maybe that's their strong suit. Rashid comes in, it's chopped by Hope. And there's one more to the total.
I think ever since they got that 400 against New Zealand, which they got batting first, they realised the benefit of scoreboard pressure. Yeah. And I think England naturally like to bat first, you know. They could have easily done that today.
In comes Rashid then. This one gets playing forward and there's no run. I think maybe due. I don't know if you field inside. It's not easy to keep control of the ball. I mean, England started off, that's the end of the over, end of the 18th over, 94 for 2. We're going to have a bit of drink, so we'll have just a recap on what's happened so far. Well, England won the toss, elected to field. They made one change. England. Tom Curran came in for Chris Wokes. West Indies made 2 changes. No Jason Holder or Evan Lewis through injury. Holder's gone back to a funeral in Barbados. Jason Mohammed captains the side. Carlos Brathwaite was added to the squad but didn't make it. Kyle Hope and Sunil Ambis replace Holder and Lewis. And well, England got Chris Gale playing defensive to start with. He was after 20 balls he was 5 runs, and then with 3 balls later it was 23 of 23. He hit 40 of 29, 1 4 and 5 sixes. He was the first to go for 52. Off the bowling of Tom Curran, coming to his first wicket, and a great catch by Liam Plunkett. And then Liam Plunkett recently has just got the wicket of Kyle Hope, the other opener, caught and bowled, diving down to his low left-hand side, a great catch. Hope was out for 33 from 38 deliveries, and that was 86 for 2. Since then, West Indies, after 18 overs, are 94 for 2. And we've got a little bit of a drinks break at this moment in time, but England bowled okay?
Yeah, I think so. I was disappointed in ball. Not that Gale is hitting for 6s, that he had no comeback to it. He got hit for 6. His next ball was half tracker, hit for 6. Then the third ball of that over, once the assault started, was another 6. Morgan could have taken him out, but he didn't. And then after that, he goes for another couple of 6s that over and a 4. I mean, he didn't have a comeback. And then we look at that and we look at what Curran did, and Curran bowled much more intelligently, and he had a plan. He executed his slower ball really well, and he got the wicket. I mean, there was a big difference between the two, and I thought Curran would be the junior partner in the 2 opening bowlers, but it absolutely turned out to be the other way around. And then typically Liam Plunkett comes in and he's playing a big part, and he's been England's pivotal bowler in this one-day side over the last calendar year, and you alluded to that fact, but again he's come up with the goods with a good caught and bowled, and of course he caught Gale as well with a good catch. So he's a good all-round cricketer, a good bowler, a good batsman, and obviously a pretty good fielder, as we've seen on a couple of instances with 2 sharp catches today.
We certainly have. Of course, England don't play another one-day international until January. It's Test cricket all the way, isn't it, from end of November? And then they go. I think they play 5 one-days or 3 one-days. After the 3rd T20, they go straight into a T20 series in New Zealand. It's literally 2 days after that. And then they play some one-days, and then it's the Test series. Just 2 tests in New Zealand. I always like to see 3 there, but it's a long winter for England. Moeen Ali's going to come on.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out, haven't they? England. It's a real punishing schedule. It starts, well, it's virtually October off, but starts in November with Western Australia at the Wacker. Before we get cracking into the first Test match, there's 3 warm-up games. One in Adelaide as well, one in Townsville before they go to Brisbane, and then the real test begins. They say it's a long time to be on tour. We'd mentioned it, but they're in New Zealand then, and middle of March is when they leave. So November through to March is a long time to be out.
Here comes Moeen Ali then to Hope, who drives down the ground for a single. 95 for 2. Yeah, it's really is a schedule and a half, isn't it, for cricket?
Which is sort of good news. I mean, when it's all dark and dismal anyway, don't know what else we'd want to be doing.
Here comes Ali. Samuels drops this onto the offside, picks up a single, and moves on to 4.
I don't quite know how the antidote to it being dark is getting up in the middle of the morning, but but anyway, we'll give it a go. I can't say I look forward to the times and the schedules and lack of sleep and all that. I think if you did it over a long haul, it'd be too depressing for words. But the cricket's exciting, and we're doing our ball by ball coverage. You properly get absorbed in the Ashes and what it's all about, the passion, and we'll see all that. And then MCG, that huge Test match around Christmas time. It's all good stuff, really, all to be looked forward to.
This one's driven by Samuels, wants a single out. Slipped there by Plunkett, but he didn't collect the ball cleanly, and Samuels gets a single. He's 5 for 15, West Indies 98 for 2. Of course, in the southern hemisphere, around the world, it's their summer, isn't it? So you get more and more cricket coming in. This one's playing forward by Hope, back to Ali. That's the end of the over, 4 from it. 98 for 2 after 19.
Yeah, things always could be worse. One of our commentators, Eric, from Chomso, and their winter, you literally didn't really get light in winter at all. I think he said between 2 and 4 it gets a little bit lighter during the winter. That's literally it. So you always think things could be worse.
Permanently in the dark.
That's just his commentary skills.
In comes Rashid as Samuels gets forward. No run.
He's a big fan of Ipswich Town
and Atalanta.
Yeah, I mean, he could have put a pin anywhere. I guess he got a little bit lucky.
Threw that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, tractor boys. In comes Rashid as Samuels tries to drive, gets a little inside edge onto his pad, and the ball makes his way back to the Yorkshire leg spinner from Bradford.
Yeah, I mean, his pin could have gone in the middle of the North Sea. I don't quite know who'd be supporting then, but
I'm going to pick you. In comes Rashid again. This one playing on the leg side, and there's no run. Yeah, seems to be attending a lot more Atalanta games recently.
Yeah, well, they've done quite well. Europe for the first time, I think.
For a long while. I think they lost last night though, to Lyon. This one's left alone there by Samuels, through to Butler, no run. For vague off the top of my head. And 2 balls to come. Here comes Rashid, and he gets Samuels forward, and there's no run. And 98 for 2. Run rate just under 5. Nose, In comes Rashid again. This one's short of a length, and it gets Samuels playing backwards. He drives it into the covers, and there's no run. And that's the end of the over, the end of the 20th over. West Indies are 98 for 2. Run rate is dropped. England have pulled this back now. And Rashid, Ali, Plunkett, All bowled well.
Yeah, 98 for 2. It's really good, that, you know. Yeah, they've got the work cut out. Marlon Sammers 5 from 21. Well, you're kind of saying, oh, he can go slow, and then you're hoping he sort of doesn't do that. But he's having that struggle as Moeen Ali bowls to Shea Hope. He's 17 from 33, Marlon 5 from 21. And exactly what we thought might happen to him is happening to them. The run rate is below 5 now. They're on the go slow, and yeah, they're going to have a real struggle later on. I mean, it's about keeping wickets in the hutch and about building blocks, but this is like watching England back in the day. It's just too sedate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that next delivery again blocked away. Don't get me wrong, it's good bowling, but I think you've got to take some kind of chance as well. And they don't seem to be too interested in that. Next delivery is another dot ball, and Moeen Ali, he's bowling well. But Shea Hope just getting tied up here. 17 from 36, and somebody's got to do something at some point. And there's plenty of overs to go, but it's just ridiculous, really. That next delivery hit off the back foot, but they may come back for 2. In fact, they just walked the single. So I don't know quite what's happening to them. No, I know what you've just done. Ah, dear. We're kind of blessed today. We've got 2 TVs in our studio, so keeping ourselves vaguely amused. I can't remember. Alistair Evans. Alistair Evans out of the Scotland one-day team or T20 side. He resembles a llama. So and some kind of llama's running at Worcester today. So there we go. That's our lucky cricket omen. The other advice: never back any of our tips.
Yeah, exactly. We can't offer you anything.
I know. Going like wildfire in the office in midweek was Monaco to beat Porto. Oh, they score a lot at home in Le Champion. I got talked into that one and beaten 3-0 by Porto. Brilliant.
That was a big defeat last night, wasn't it? Oh, the other day was it Benfica losing 5-0?
Yeah, they got beaten by Basel, beaten up by Basel. That was a surprise. Overpitch delivery from Rashid, drilled to the fielder at the boundary. And real harm done, just one. Rashid's not going for many. For a leggy, he's doing well. Morgan brought them in at just the right time. As oh dear. Well, that wasn't the llama that's gone down. A few stripy horses out there. Anyway, next delivery to the ropes. Good diving stop. That's terrific fielding. And Jason Roy take a bow. Looked like that was travel at rate of knots and going for 4. But he's helped Rashid's figures out there off not such a great ball.
Yeah, good drive that, wasn't it? And great work from him. Might as well have been a llama. This one's
well, next there is a dot ball. Marlon can't quite crack on. 7 from 24. Yeah, your horse is running like a llama, isn't it? Next delivery and another dot ball, another block. Decent line and length. Well, you've not been tailed off just yet. Hope springs eternal.
Hope he's a late bloomer.
You've backed him for a place, haven't you? Anyway, half a chance for Llama Man by the side of me is the next delivery. Overpitched again. Hit it down the ground, but there is somebody there. Again, it's just another single. That's death by 1,000 cuts, this, isn't it? As England just tidy overs and mop-up runs, dot balls aplenty, and they just have stopped Windies in their tracks. Next delivery, again overpitched. They might make 2 out of that. They probably won't.
Yeah, they're looking to set a platform. They got off to a reasonably good start, didn't they, West Indies, and now they're just looking to build again and not get out to some silly shots. Well, Sanders can play within himself, though, can't he?
The short boundaries are screaming to be taken on. But I mean, Gale is somebody's side, but he can't just be, oh, he goes for it and everyone else blocks. You know, no Lewis, so they were unfortunate. I mean, Kyle Hope did try and crack on a bit, but now they're absolutely on the go slow. But next delivery should have been a single. There was a misfield as well, but they just didn't take it on. They seem to be devoid of any real confidence, you know.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Just get themselves into a bit of a pickle.
Well, the llama's been on and off the bridle, but he's still plugging away. Next delivery is a single, just dabbed into the covers.
The world's most boring horse. Yeah.
Your jockey's going to be tired by the time this race is over. He's had to work hard, hasn't he?
Like he's run it twice.
Next delivery, another dot ball. It's good stuff from Moeen Ali. You know, taking the pace off the ball and just not giving him an inch. 2.3 overs have cost Moeen Ali just 6 runs. Next delivery, Marlon dances down to cuff it straight to cover, and there's no run there either. So he's going nowhere fast. Next delivery, dances down again, flourishes this time to Plunkett and takes a quick run on it. Wasn't there. Plunkett very close to running him out there.
Yeah, it was close. Good work that from Plunkett. You know, it's not easy for a fast bowler to get down there. Got the throw in. Samuel's not exactly rapid between the stumps, and almost get him out. Almost get him out.
Next delivery, just hit straight back to the fielder. No run. I mean, he gets through his work quickly, doesn't he, Moeen? And while he does, and while Rashid's at the other end, they're reeling off the overs and they're not going for much. And now the run rate is almost down to 4.5.
Yeah, it's good pressure from Inglis, isn't it? As Plunkett sprints off, so Milan will come up, 12th man. Comfort break, perhaps. But yeah, it was. Yeah. They've seemed to have got themselves into a bit of a pickle at the moment, the West Indies. Can't move forward. So we're signing an autograph, has to come back on the field of play at the moment as Rashid's ready.
Next delivery is stride from Marlon, but then a block. He just can't seem to get it away. So, yeah, real difficult out there. Rashid and Moeen doing ever so well. And but there are 1 or 2 slow bowlers for Windies as well. That ball crashes into the pad going down the leg side. I thought an appeal by wicket keeper, but not really by bowler.
Yeah, no, I think it's down leg, didn't it?
So relatively quiet. Next delivery and given a bit of room, played off the back foot. It's a better looking shot, but still a pickup by Roy at the boundary. 108 for 2 now after 23.5 overs, and Rashid maintaining and keeping it tight. Next ball, I mean, that's flung up a little bit, and again they're driven down the ground, but Willie will pick this one up. And again, must be on as a sub fielder. I don't think he's in the mix today.
Cage is out. Mark and ball Kagisa Rabada. 7.
Rashid now 5th ball of the over. Again watched onto the bat of Shea Hope, who will take the single. But they're not getting the boundaries in, and we seem a long time since we saw our last. So England are applying something of a tourniquet. Next delivery, striding a block, but there is one there. They walk it and then they think, well, actually we have to get a bit of a lurk on.
It's almost as if West Indies have just rebooted their innings, haven't they? They've just thought, oh, we've got off to a good start, but give credit to England bowling as well, can't we? So, you know, it's been really big Got a squeeze put on the West Indies going forward. Doesn't seem to be much in it for the spinners either, but it's more to do with not allowing to bowl some rubbish either, is it?
No, exactly. They're not giving away much, England now, and Moeen Ali into his 4th over. He's gone for just 7 runs. Long may that continue. Marlon this time picks off the short ball. Again, he can't find the boundary. That was a terrible ball. And you're thinking, well, go on then. But he drills it straight to the fielder. He takes a single, Marlon, but he's 14 from 35. And he's kind of killing their chances, this really. Next delivery's another single. But England don't mind. You know, there's usually a dot or two. The run rate is about 4.5, and that is not going to trouble anybody. So next delivery, a block and a dot, and it's just keeping the arm's length. I know they have to sort of lay down some kind of platform before they can get cracking, but by the time they do get cracking, they'll have lost their chance. Next delivery blocked away. This is what Pakistan did effectively to win that last tournament. It was these overs where they bowled well, where they didn't allow anybody easy runs. Next delivery is another dot ball. It's straight to mid-wicket by Marlon Samuel. He's 14 from 38. I like Marlon. I think he's a good player, but well, he looks like now he should just be in the test team. He just cannot get it, you know, change the mindset really. Next delivery, and well, he takes a stride out and he blocks it right in front of him, and that's that again, you know. So 4 overs, none for 9 from Moeen Ali, and that's terrific stuff.
It really is, isn't it? You mentioned this the other day when you said that Marlon seems to get just caught himself into a bit of a pickle, really, doesn't he? He doesn't seem to be able to get motivated enough to get forward. Then he gets himself out, and you always think it's a bit of a waste of time, don't you?
Yeah, because you know, if you back yourself over the long period, I'm going to score runs, great. But like, he can be good, and he can be expansive, but he's leaving himself a lot to do. He's not Gale that he can faff about and take so much time, because he's going to get out and then eventually be out getting nothing. As Rashid next delivery, it's another good one, and he's got Shea Hope stretching, but he's not quite going to get there. And so yeah, here the next ball just flicked away leg side, and yeah, they've really applied a tourniquet. These two guys have done ever so well. 114 for 2.
They've set the field as well on the defensive, haven't they? On the attack, rather.
Next delivery just swept fine, and yeah, it was a nice little glance there, but they're not profiting by much. The odd single here and there puts Marlon back on strike. And a 4th ball for Rashid's over. They're getting through it, the two England spinners, which is good stuff, and I dare say that they're going to bowl out today. Missed time shot from Samuels. Will he take the run on? I don't think so. He's 16 from 41 now. Another dot ball from Rashid, and the run rate is 4.52 now. Next delivery, and I would say slightly overpitched. The shot is hit toward the boundary, straight to Roy. They only take a single.
Yeah, just the boundaries are just null and void at the moment, aren't they? There's been such a time that the boundaries have come in.
Next delivery, and that bamboozle. Shea Hope hits him on the pad. No appeal. Another good over. And so, yeah, 26 overs, 117 for 2, and the struggle continues.
Is it Rashid, 8 overs, 1 maiden, none for 27, so brilliant that from Rashid. Oh, now he's only gone for 9 from his 4. His partnership may be 30, but he's took 11 overs to get that far so far. A run rate of 2.77, and it feels like that, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, it's like pulling teeth, isn't it? 4.5 runs and over, but this isn't Test match cricket, and you get those kind of sort of scoring rates now, don't you? As the next delivery hits straight to Plunkett, he has a throw down the stumps, but he misses, and well, it was a close run thing.
He's just quite happy picking singles up, isn't he, Marlon Samuels? But you know, at times he's not been able to get the ball away, and now there's hope, has he, as well? So they're both stuck in this cement mixer at the moment, just going round and round. Yeah,
they're on a merry-go-round. They can't get off. They're not going particularly quickly, but something needs to happen for these two guys. Next delivery off the back foot. Sorry, it's been
82 balls, and it's just been made the comment that the partnership is yet to have a boundary.
Yeah, it's not good enough, is it? 25 from 48, 18 from 43. They both could step it up. Next, again, off the back foot, playing inside out Marlon, but straight to the cover fielder. And just not going fluently. But the next is fine. It's almost through the wicket keeper. There's a run for ball. Will he get there? And he does, just to stop the boundary. But, well, I think they virtually walked 2 there. 3 was definitely on. They're just not getting it done, are they, these guys?
No. Flick. No, you're right. They're just not getting it done.
And take another look at how sedate they were in between wickets. Batsman flays the bat there to one that was a bit shorter and wider, and he's going to get 2 this time, Marlon Samuels. You know, I'm sure that they want to pick the pace up, and they're going to have to. Obviously, we'll get to about the 30 over mark, and then we're looking to double the score. But I think with these short boundaries, and at this ground where the ball's not seeming around it doing that much, you know, England, I think, could be looking at 3-7-5. Next delivery again straight to the fielder, and decent pick up. Another one added onto the total. At the end of another fairly tight over. 124 for 2, no boundaries, dot balls, plenty of them, and yeah, I think England will be pretty pleased.
So we're in crucial over between the overs 11 to 40. England's percentage of dot balls is less than the West Indies. Over half of their balls bowled are dot balls for the West Indies. That's where they tend to lose the games. And those middle overs, they go hell for leather at the first 10 overs, and towards the back overs they do, but that middle overs, as you pointed out, at times need to be a little bit better. That's why they're not playing in major tournaments at the moment, West Indies. So yet to come across a settled team as well. They don't seem to have a formula for one-day cricket, other than getting Chris Gale back in. Doesn't very often work that. So England are doing what England do at the moment. West Indies under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. So ball back in.
I think that's right. I think it's right to bring them back in. Shed a few overs, a couple of overs here while they're not in form.
Next delivery, and well, that one hit back with a point. I'm not sure I would have made any changes really. Just made sure I'd have got the full allocation out the 2 spinners, and then boxed on from there. But anyway, ball is back in. Give batsmen something different to think about. They might prefer what they're getting now.
A bit of pace.
Next delivery, and that one seams in to the right-hander, and he was caught by surprise there, Marlon Samuels. I think that was a bit slower as well from ball, 80 mile an hour. He needs a good slow ball. I mean, he's just taken the pace slightly off that, so obviously just he's not done anything different other than not quite gone through it like he would. I think he needs to look at scrambled or out the back of the hand, as we saw from Curran. Next delivery, and again he didn't go for broke, it looked like, with that, but this time Samuel's able to wait, just clip it away for a single. Yeah, that was 72.5 miles an hour. So he's certainly mixing it up a little bit.
Paul's got some wrestling back to do, hasn't he, at the moment? For 48 in his first 5 overs. So if he just has a couple of overs here, it just brings that economy rate down. Okay.
Next delivery, and that flicks off an edge. Only one to be had, down to third man boundary. And the ball has got 2 balls left of the over. Getting hungry. Seeing kids eating pizza. So, yeah, decent crowd today. It's definitely not full house. I'd say it looks 2/3 full. As ball comes in again, and shorter ball, and it was a bit too close to Marlon Samuels to pull. He tried nonetheless, and he got nothing on it. Straight through to Butler behind the stumps today. He looks strangely out of sorts for such a talented player. He's 24 from 51, Marlon Samuels. As the final ball of the over. Again, he's taking the pace off that drill straight to I think it was Billings in the covers, and again no run. And again Marlon just not getting it done, and he's wasting a lot of deliveries for them to slow down, not quite to a stop, but these are the overs that are absolutely killing them, because England will be going at about 6, so I would say almost 2 more runs per over, and over a long haul that adds up to a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. Certainly does indeed. It's just there must be a plan for the West Indies here. They're just, whilst they're just setting platforms, or it's England's good bowling. I mean, 26 or 49, Marlon's 24 or 52. There must be a game for this. I don't know quite know what they're really wanting to do right now. Because if it goes at 6 runs and over, the West Indies are going to feel on 258.
Yep. Next delivery worked away for a single.
It's got a feeling that England like batting here for some reason. I seem to remember. So.
Yeah, I think England like batting full stop, don't they? Good strong batting lineup. Not as strong as it was without Hales and without Stokes, but nonetheless plenty of good batting. Obviously Curran's bowled well. Can he thrive with the bat as well? As guess what? It's a dot ball to Marlon Samuels. 24 from 53. I've been a bit of a scourge of England in the past. I'm sure he'll be missing Ben Stokes today. He steps out of his crease and he drills one to mid-wicket, but has got just enough time to get to the other end.
Or he's thinking, I'm not going to say anything anymore to Ben Stokes.
Oh, he doesn't need to, does he? That kid does damage to himself. Never mind. You know, in a battle of wits with himself, he's come second. 128 for 2. Moeen Ali having a word with his skipper, but I don't know what about. They might be talking about what they're going to have for lunch. There doesn't seem to be any problems for England, and I guess that Morgan's going to be delighted.
So yeah, good comeback this from England.
Next delivery, dot ball. This time Shea Hope just working it to mid-wicket, no run.
I presume it's a damp surface. So,
Well, the ball's not spinning. The slow bowlers for England have not working any magic. That ball's going straight on. But that's another good delivery that's got the batsman backing up, playing off the back foot, squirts off the backward a point, picks it up, no run. This is Shea Hope, who's 27 from 52. And we're having a moan at Marlon Samuels, but both these players are in the same trap. Another dot ball to Moeen. And that's the end of an over. 6 overs, none for 18. That's brilliant from Moeen Ali.
it is. And they're not looking to use the gaps, are they? They to pick up quick singles. It's almost as if to say that they're back in their crease. They don't quite know how to play these two bowls. They're bowling full of a length, and then just knocking it back to them and not getting anywhere. I mean, England put a real squeeze on here, and look at there's been, since the power play, there's been nothing, hasn't there?
There've been 2 overs that's gone for more than 10, and obviously that was Gale biffing Jakey Ball all over the shop.
Yeah.
And I thought that they didn't need to bring him back for the second over of that either, but since then, nothing over 10. But we're just not seeing boundaries, and they're short boundaries today. Right then, ball in, a decent delivery, but just to pace the ball takes it past Roy back with a point. Again, I think they've only taken the single off that.
Yeah, there was nothing chasing down. You know, like Johnny Bairstow runs the first one quick and looks for a second. No, Sam was just quite happy. Just quite going to dawdle down. That went down to third man.
Yeah, they are dawdling. Yeah.
Quite like that.
Yeah, I think I could think of my usual language and peppered with expletives anyway, so there are other words to describe it. That wasn't good fielding by Roy, back with a point. The ball gets through him. There might be 2. There should be 2. And there are. We're looking at doubling the score at 30 overs and they'll get 270. I think England get 100 more than that.
We know how dangerous England are from 40 overs onwards. The last 10, they can easily get 120, easy.
The form that Moeen Ali's in at the moment. Next delivery, ball's taking the pace off it, and Hope he prods it, but he can't run.
He's just pushed it into the covers and asked Marlon Samuels for a run there. And Samuels is not bothered. He's too busy taking his gloves off. There wasn't. It was pushed straight to extra cover where Morgan was. There was never a run there.
He's never deep backing up looking for it. I don't think there was a run there, but not that Marlon was.
No, not that he was anyway. But
if there was, he may not.
Yeah,
just in his gloves.
Yeah, see, the pressure's getting on Hope here. Hope seems to be the one who's perhaps wanting to try something.
Right, next delivery. Seems into the right-handed. Does well with it, Shea Hope. Punches it down. No chance for a catch, but only another single. It's like you think, well, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Why they at some point? Well, we're going to tear it up in a minute. Whoa. Yeah, go on then. 30 from 56 Hope, Samuels 26 from 56. Not much between them really, but it's way too slow in the one-day international cricket. That was a short ball with the pace taken off it, and Samuels was tempted.
Oh.
Boy, it's a wide. I think he's unlucky there.
I think he's unlucky there because it was a slower ball bouncer, and he's not caught it right, has he? But no, I didn't think that was a wide.
No, me neither. I thought he could hit that. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, he could have guided it down. I don't think that was.
Square leg umpire wided it.
Yeah.
Anyway, next delivery again takes the pace off it, but this time Samuels, he's a decent enough contact, but again did he just take a single again there?
Yeah.
Wow. Just incredible.
Bairstow's smiling there. Billings and Bairstow out in the deep as the boundary riders. They're loving it, aren't they?
I'll tell you what, these two are going to have to tear it up from what they've done. It's the only way that they can justify going along this slowly. Next delivery, and again decent hit from Hope for a single. Don't think there was any more than one on there. And so we're through 30 overs. Double that one, that's easy. Even I can do that. 270. And like I said, that wouldn't be enough. For me, England's range on this ground is about 370.
It shouldn't be enough, should it? The way they're batting at the moment, they're batting themselves into a bit of problems. England have done well to keep that down to what, 37 off that 10 overs. That's excellent, isn't it? Excellent. They've not got a wicket. It's been 126 balls since the last boundary. Now, if West Indies will, only thing, the problem is they haven't got any wickets with it. But they've done the next best thing, and should they now nip a couple out, they're 4 down, looking at the long tail today again, Ashley Nursing at 8. You know, it doesn't give them much scope, does it, to get that 270 even, John? So England bringing Liam Plunkett back on for a couple of overs now as well. So England's most dangerous bowler is sniffing a few more wickets here. Hope's on 31. Samuels is on 27. And with 20 overs to go, West Indies need to treat it like a T20 now. So we've only seen the 2 wickets fall so far. Just a quick update of what's happening around the world. Abu Dhabi, Pakistan on 64 without loss in reply to Sri Lanka's 419. And on day 2 in Potchefstroom, South Africa, 496 for 3 declared. Bangladesh are 50 for 2 in reply. And Leighton Daz is out for 25. So Mominul Haq and Mushfiqur Rahim are the 2 batsmen there. In comes Plunkett then to Hope. Guides it past point. Pick up a single. And in complete control of this game so far. Marlon Samuels on strike. Just no boundaries since the 22nd over. And here comes Plunkett to Samuels, who guides this down to fine leg. Just a single though, it might even be a leg by, is it? No, he's giving it as a single to Samuels. 137 for 2. Cricket Llama says no boundaries since the 22nd over. It isn't a test match, gentlemen. Hope 32, Samuels 28. Here comes Plunkett again, wide outside. He cuts this, so Morgan's dropped it again. That's his 3rd drop in 2 one-day internationals. It would slap straight at him by Shy Hope. He's got a hand to it. It's looped up, and on the 2nd chance, he's dropped the ball. I don't know how many times he's done it. Well, 3 times I think. Last 2 matches would have been a super catch.
He's very unlucky there. I mean, it's a diving one-handed stop, if you like. You know, and it very nearly sticks in there for a catch. But, yeah, just got away from him. Just and only just. It's a shame that. It was a good effort.
And this one's dabbed down to the 3rd man. Single for Hope. He moves on to 33. West Indies are 138 for 2. When you meet the universe boss. The universe boss. What's he on about with that? Hey dear. So in come Plunkett again. Could have had a 2nd wicket. This one's pulled by Samuels. Backward a square and he gets 4 runs for it. We've had a boundary. Hooray! Too short that from Plunkett. Samuels helps it's on its way. He moves on to 32. And a West Indian flag of a country I'm not too sure about there. Just pulled around the corner by Marlon Samuels. I know the Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaican flags, but a bit loose on that one. Wait for Samuels. In comes Plunkett, and Samuels very nearly chops on. Fielded by Butler. He wanted a single, but said no. End of the over then. 142 for 2 after 31.
There's a heavy influence of Bajans in this West Indies touring team, weren't they? So they're the blue trident, aren't they?
It is a blue trident. Yeah, it's a blue and yellow flag, isn't it, that one? So.
I think we all remember the Jamaican flag. We've seen it that often at the Olympics, haven't we?
Yeah. The Trinidad one is that black and red. Yeah. With a black and red one, isn't it? That.
I think Grenada is. Has it got nutmeg on it?
Yeah, has it got a? It's a mishmash of multicolours, that one, isn't it? The Grenada one, yeah.
With a nutmeg in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we know a few of them.
So, Shy Hope, 33 from 60. No 4s or 6s in his innings so far. Moeen Ali continues. He's got 4 overs left. He's only gone for 18. 142 for 2. And England in a strong position at this moment in time. As Ali comes into Hope, gets forward, no run, predictably. Wasp suggests 301. That's going some, isn't it? In comes Moeen, driven down the ground by Hope for a single.
Well, they are only 2 wickets down, so you know, there is an opportunity for them to go hell for leather and pick it up. It just doesn't seem that likely, does it really? But
no.
We'll see how they get on.
As Samuels on 32, he waits.
I thought I might see Carlos Brathwaite today.
Yeah, he's been drafted into the squad and not played, so strange really. In comes Moeen, he was stumped. Marlon Samuels is stumped. He beats him in the flight there. The 3rd wicket has fallen, and Moeen sells Samuels a dummy, and he's missed the ball and stumped by Butler, and he's out, and England got the 3rd wicket.
And he never got going, did he? And,
no.
And again, that's the kind of innings there where unless you then pick it up and start moving it. But it is what it is. I mean, we can't make Marlon Samuels in any better form than he is. And he certainly wasn't seeing it like a beach boy. He was struggling. But he's in there to try and put some building blocks in that they can get a big finish. But 32 from 60 is a killer of an innings, really. Yeah. And it's what he did before. You know, last time he scored quite as... I mean, you'd almost wish he could stay in there and use a load more deliveries, because somebody's going to come in now, probably fling the bat. So...
yeah. So... one of the stats saying he was stumped by Adil Rashid.
That's a good effort.
It is, isn't it? All of Moeen, 32 of 60. We know now that to be true because it is a stumping by Josh Butler, obviously. So England make the breakthrough. Again, that squeeze has eventually done it. So good stuff from England.
Well, he was becalmed. And he just couldn't ever get going. You know, he's there to do a job, and he's not going to throw his wicket away. He's not one of those characters. He's quite cool. But that's the problem in this format. I think a lot of players would think, I'm just not. I might as well not be here. So I'm either going to try and hit the ball hard or get out. Not quite waste as many deliveries, making his mind up that he was going to do that. Eventually, I think the penny dropped. Mal just ran out of his crease and got stumped. Trying to do something, but yeah, he was just poor, that really.
Yeah, really was poor. Flighted delivery, missed it completely, didn't he? And Butler was easy work for him. And Samuels could only watch Butler take the bails off. He couldn't believe his luck, Josh Butler. Big smile on Moeen face. Another wicket for him in one-day international cricket. Very good work from him indeed, and good work from England overall. And Moeen will continue. This time to Jason Mohammed, who's a new batsman, skipper today. He drives, and there's no run. 49th ODI wicket for Moeen. In comes Ali again to Mohammed, who plays this down the ground, wants a single, the throw comes in. He was just off balance there. It was Joe Root to try and slide and gather the ball with his hand and quite get the throw. A great connection in. Might actually be Owen Morgan, but still. As Hope waits, in comes Moeen. Hope plays it late down to short third man. There's nobody there. That's the end of the over. End of the 32nd over. 144 for 3. The West Indies. Moeen gets a wicket, and he's 1 for 20 off his 7 overs. Excellent stuff from him.
Yeah, it's really good. Can't fault him really. He's having such a good summer, isn't he, with England, both the bat and the ball. Some good times to be had by all. Forget waiting for that appeal for him for his hat trick, you know, and the delight on the players' faces, all celebrating together. It was all good. Moeen Ali's such an integral part now of a successful England side, and you know he keeps, whenever you count him out, keeps cropping up, and you know, either with bat ball or with some good fielding as well. He's just a very solid cricketer.
Here comes Plunkett then to Jason Mohammed. Short, and he hits Mohammed. Did he hit him on the helmet there? Or on the shoulder or something? It must be the helmet, I think. He was just adjusting it, but it's a short ball. Mohammed did not play that well at all. And the West Indies standing skipper getting one in the chops. He's just, oh, is that the face of the bat? I don't know, he's just played it down. He's badly anyway. He's not, took his eyes off the ball. Yeah, it's come off the face of the bat. It could have been caught there. In comes Plunkett again. Does he try it again? No, he gets a little bit fuller. And the ball goes back to the bowler. But yeah, welcome to this match, Jason Mohammed. He did not play that well. Plunkett's quick. So we're going to be asking now, why is he not in the Ashes squad consistently, aren't we?
Well, you know, it doesn't make any sense, does it really? I think at times now, it's right that they keep the team separate, but they do pigeonhole players a little bit, I feel.
Here comes Warren, he very nearly finds an edge. It was too quick for him. 87 miles an hour. Mohammed threw the bat at it and completely missed that. And that was through to Josh Butler. Good bowling that from Liam Plunkett. England doing well here. Here comes Plunkett again then to Mohammed. Plays off his hips for a single. And we'll get there. The throw comes in. One more to the total. 45 for 3. Hope was on 34 from 63 deliveries. Mohammed's 2 from 6. West Indies 145 for 3. Then in comes Plunkett again. Right arm over. This one's again quick for Mohammed. Again, it's a dot ball through to extra cover, no run. Just a one boundary then. Quite some time. Oh, he edged that. Did he edge it? Yeah.
But there's a little noise on ultra edge, and suggests that he got a little bit of that.
Here comes Plunkett to Mohammed. This one gets him playing off the pads. We'll pick up a single. Off Hope. Picks up a single. The throw comes in. One more to the total. 35. Gets Mohammed on. No, Hope stays on strike because at the end of the over, end of the 33rd over, West Indies 146 for 3. Run rate is 4.42. Plunkett's only gone for 24 off his 6 overs with the 1 wicket. Caught ball Hope. And really putting the pressure on the West Indies at the moment. Bangladesh 55 for 2. Pakistan 64 without loss. Game at Abu Dhabi. Comes Moeen Ali, gets forward, and there's going to be 1 run at least for Hope. Throw comes in, yeah, they stick at 1. So Mohammed will be on strike. Good outfielding by England again. Mohammed then on to, in comes Moeen Ali, then gets off the back foot into the covers. No run. Gets a bit samey, doesn't it, when you're just saying it? No run, pushed into the covers.
Yeah, it's I've been a drop-in pitch at Nagpur. This
in the middle of the night. Just playing on a loop. Moeen Ali then to his mark. Right arm over then. This one's driven by Mohammed. He'll pick up a single. Out as far as Sam Billings, who gets the throw in. One more to the total. 3 off 9. And the second power play. 33.4 overs. Hope on strike. He's 36. Punches this one down the ground for a single. Plunkett spins around. Gets the throw in. Shy Hope. 37 not out from 67 deliveries. It'll take them up to 10 and over to get 311, so they're going to have to go some here, the West Indies. When comes in, driven by Mohammed. Out to the deep cover boundary, there is Billings. Gets the throw in, end of the over, another successful one from Moeen Ali. Just 3 from it, I think, yeah. 3 from that over. 150 up for West Indies in the 35th over.
Yeah, they're just not going anywhere, are they? No, they need some big hitting at the end, don't they? Mohammed, the skipper today, he'll be hoping to do as well as Holder in that respect. I think he's a great captain of the team. And we know Shea Hope's a talented batsman, but neither he nor Marlon have been able to express themselves really. You always think, well, it's like that for one team, it should be like that for the other, but I think maybe you just have to credit that England actually bowled really well. As a one-day bowling unit, they always seem to have good plans, England.
In comes Plunkett, oh, and Mohammed goes on the drive, but misses it. And it's through to Butler, and there's no run. And Plunkett's a little bit too quick for Mohammed, I feel. On evidence so far. Final game of the English summer. Massive amount of cricket for England to play this year. Huge, isn't it? Starting off in India. In comes Plunkett. This one gets Mohammed playing forward, and there's no run. The one day in the T20 series in India, didn't they? Then they went off to West Indies in March, and 2 games against Ireland in May, and then South Africa for a few games, and the Champions Trophy, and South Africa Test Series, West Indies Test Series, and now the T20 and one day series, and then the Ashes coming up.
I mean, it is relentless, isn't it? Which is great. You know.
Here comes Plunkett. This one's driven by Mohammed. And get a single at least. Oh, and Billings, and Terry Bairstow on the drive. He's going to for 4, is it? Can he break it? No, he can't. That looked to me like it was 4. He slips there. And, well.
Oh, he's left it a bit red-faced. I mean, they've been exemplary in the field today, and the man you'd probably least expect to make a cock-up with a simple pick-up and throw. Ball just bounced in front of his hand, but he didn't quite make sure, did he? Yeah, one of those things. It's all come a bit easy for England today, hasn't it?
Yeah, he dozed off a little bit there, didn't he? And also fell over some piping as well over the other side. He didn't cover himself in glory there, did he, in making that error?
No, he's not ready quite to laugh at himself just yet, is he?
In comes Plunkett then, short pulled by Mohammed. This is well fielded by Sam Billings at deep square, and the throw comes in just 1. Really, 155 for 3, but it's Billings and Bairstow out at deep square or deep cover, depending on where the batsman hit the ball to. Mohammed's on 9 from 14. Hope's 37 from 67. West Indies are 155 for 3. In comes Plunkett. This one tickled down fine leg. He'll get 1. And look for the second. The throw comes in, and it wasn't a great throw.
And probably to the wrong end, wasn't it? But yeah. In the end, I think I was fairly comfortable too. We haven't seen too much of that. Mohammed's trying to get a scurry on, isn't he? And maybe he's imparted to Shea Hope that they need to pick it up. But they're still not quite going quickly enough, and they're still not getting the boundaries, are they?
Certainly not. As Plunkett comes in again, driven by Hope, out to Johnny Bairstow. And Gather, no doubt, get some ironic cheers from the crowd. And it's 1 more to the total, 158 for 3, and he does 35 overs gone. Hope's on 40. Mohammed's on 9.
That's your own fans whining you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is coming way too easy for England, though, isn't it? And they're just. Well, he takes the applause there, the irony.
Yeah.
Big smile. That's what crowds are all about.
Marlon Samuels, this series, 124 balls faced, 2 4s, no 6s. Deary me. Marlon. You'd say he's batting his way into the test team, isn't he?
Yeah.
Shocking stat that, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long way from being good enough, that, isn't it?
Now he comes in. This one played on the leg side and there's no run. Fell out with the WICB, didn't he, as well, about not playing the remitted amount of Caribbean 50 over games. So he was omitted from the side as Hope pushes this into the covers. There's going to be one. Morgan will field. They stick at one as well. And he gets back in the side and then does that. You know, what do you want, Marlon?
Yeah, never happy.
159 for 3. 36 over. Hope's 41, Mohammed on 9. So Moeen comes in now, tosses this one up, and Mohammed is back and across and plays the ball back to the bowler. Here is Mo Ali. Back off the back foot from Mohammed. He'll pick up a single. At least. Billings gets a third. Look for 2. That's good fielding. Well, there's going to be a look in the... I think there's going to be a notification here. Whether Mohammed got back or not. He's picked up 2 at least. I think we're going to have a review, are we, on the umpire review? No. Michael Goff, square leg umpire. Don't know whether he's made the signal to have a look at that. But...
well, they're going to look anyway. So, yeah, ball comes in. Butler into his hands. Then he destroys the stumps. I think he's in.
Yeah.
Only just. I mean, he was quite smart wicket keeping.
The angle's not great though, is it, John? Oh, that's better. Ooh.
He's clearly in when they... I mean, and as well, with the gloves break the stumps, don't they? Not necessarily the ball.
Yeah, the ball's in his hand. He's just having a look there. If it's on the line, he's out.
But look where the bails are.
Yeah, they're not them flashy bails to indicate whether they're off straight away, but that's the wicket's broken, and he's just in there, so...
well, it always seems that you're a frame short. No matter what they do, you haven't got quite the right frame.
Well, the right bail's not broken, is he, when he hits, but that's not a great angle, that, straight on, is it?
It looks in to me. I think there's enough doubt.
Well, but the benefit of the doubt should be in, shouldn't it? Yeah.
I think he is.
Desperately looking to see what he's back.
Yeah, but even though the wicket's moved, the bails are not off it at that point. You know, so not out. Quite right.
Mohammed's on 11. Moved on by 2. West Indies 161 for 3. Moeen Ali will continue then as Mohammed drives the covers. No run. 1 ball left in the over. So Mohammed waits. In comes Moeen Ali then. Plays off the back foot down the ground. Will pinch the strike as well. And moves on to 162 for 3. His own score, Mohammed, is 12. And again, England applying the pressure on the West Indies as I think we're going to have a drinks break, I think.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm getting a little bit hungry.
Yeah.
It seems a long time since breakfast now.
Yeah. These 50 over games are...
this late start, I think it's quite ludicrous, really.
Well, yeah.
I don't get the point of it.
I don't. It's an hour and a half later than it probably should have been.
Listen, one day cricket, you're there all day.
Yeah.
Why not just start at 11?
But a day nighter in September, it's going to be freezing later.
I don't understand it.
In comes Plunkett to Mohammed. He plays it forward. The throw comes in. They get a single. They're looking at me like they're trying to motivate themselves to pick up a few more runs here.
But I don't feel their efforts. I think
they're waiting for the plane home, do you think?
Yeah, well, they've not got the bit between their teeth, do they?
In fact, they're sat on the plane home, aren't they? They're on the taxi into the runway at the moment.
Well, they would be, but they've booked through Ryanair, so they may not be going anywhere.
Booked through Marlon Air with his pace at the minute. That's a good ball from Plunkett, and Hope leaps above his stumps to avoid an LBW decision. The ball cannons into the top of his pads. 37th over. Going over that one, Liam. Hope 41, Mohammed 13. Plunkett then sprinting in. So he gets Hope playing late and dabs down to third man, picks up a single. They're going to struggle to get 250 here if they don't, if they're not careful, John. So.
Yeah, it's not happening for them, really, is it?
No, definitely not. Oh, speaking of food, roast pork sandwich. Yeah, why show that? I've got some measly cheese sandwiches. This one's driven into these pads by Mohammed. No run.
Well, mine's a surprise, so looking forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever is in my sandwich. I don't care.
All right.
We'd bought some peanut butter as well, so if I'm lucky, if I've been a good boy, that's what I might be getting.
Well, I might give me a thought that I might fancy some peanut butter on toast one day. So here comes Plunkett. This one's driven by Mohammed. I'll go and get some, I think.
Well, I saw a programme that said it's a superfood peanut butter. Lots of fats in it that aren't saturated fats. So a good source of protein and all that. It was good for Elvis, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know really. Was that his sandwich of choice?
Yeah, he'd like one toasted peanut butter sandwich with all sorts of, I think, chocolate spread as well. Then.
All right.
Why not?
This one's played down leg side as Mohammed gets something onto it, so it can't be a wide. And Butler takes the catch. Dot ball, end of the over, end of the 37th over, 166 for 3. Hope's 42, Mohammed's 15. I'm hungry, John's hungry. Come on, West Indies, get on with it. Yeah. And yeah, it is what it is.
It's not enough, is it? I mean, it's really underwhelming doing this. I just think they've got no chance at, and it's risk and reward. Sometimes you've got to take it on, you know. Don't die wondering, they say, but you know, in this guy's and today, I think it'll be just that's a super stop. Shea Hope really caught hold of one there, and Morgan, brilliant stop from him.
Certainly was. He's really good in that position. Ali again then, his last over. Hope plays it in front of square. We'll pick up one. The throw comes in from Bear, so it stops them from getting two. Again, more good work from England. Moeen Ali, 9 overs, 2 maidens, 9 overs, no maidens, 1 for 29 at the moment. And he comes again then to Mohammed, gets forward, there's no run, the dot ball. I'm just not sure what West Indies are playing at. In comes Moeen Ali. This one's lofted down the ground by Jason Mohammed. Has he got enough this time? He has. It's 6 runs. Hooray, finally breaking the monotony there. But yeah, wonderful shot that from Jason Mohammed. Easy as you like.
Yeah, he didn't get everything of that, did he? But got enough. So, like we said, you know, they brought the boundary rope in today, and it only just cleared, but wasn't like a great big gaily into the stand. But not too many can do that, actually. And England have missed Hales today for that.
Comes Moeen Ali. This one played off the leg side. Roy with the throw, and Let's be quick. In actual fact, it didn't go for a run there.
No, it's some good fielding there. Got them to hurry up and rush back. Yeah, good scurry by England. They've been pretty good in the field.
And he pushes forward, wants a single. Does good work there. Hope's desperate to get off strike. That's twice now he's not been able to. And that's the end of it. 10 overs for Moeen Ali. Super stuff. 10 overs, no maidens. 1 for 35.
Yeah, good fielding there as well by Adil Rashid. He was onto it quickly. A good throw over the top stumps. A bit high, I guess, but batsman was fairly comfortably in. But it's just they can't take anything for granted. They can't get momentum. One decent boundary, and all of a sudden a couple of dots follow, and they've done ever such a good job of containing West Indies. When you think of West Indies in their T20 guys, when everybody can hit six, and they're like I keep calling that team nightclub bouncers, but they're just so strong and big, and you just But this is watching like this is a million miles away from that team. Limited overs cricket again, but it's just way too long, and then they're caught in between the stools. Or well, if we've got to play properly at times, then we'll bring in Marlon, and then he's gone so excruciatingly slowly. There must be a halfway house.
Yeah.
But you also need somebody who's got a bit of class, somebody potentially can get three figures. None of this is happening, is it? And we saw Gale's usual cameo. I mean, once England had got him out, you just that's it. More or less the game. And unless you're getting Gale get a century off 40 to set them up for something then they're going to be nowhere near. And maybe it's going to be difficult for England too, but I don't think it's going to be quite as hard. And unless Joseph is absolutely on fire, or one of those guys has a real going day, I just can't, it's going to be England's victory all day and every day, isn't it? And it's just not much of a contest, it doesn't seem, at the minute.
No, it just seems a bit end of season-y, doesn't he? I know it is the last game of the season, but there's no need to play like a sort of post-season testimonial friendly that they're playing today. It's just not a bit. It's got an air of nothingness about it, this game. I don't know whether the wind's been taken out of the sails in this series anyway with the Stokes incident, but it's got an air of nothing. That's all about this game, and there's no need to play a day-nighter at this late stage of the season. For the fans, it's not great, is it?
Well, I mean, you either go or you don't. I think the fans enjoyed Gale biffing it around, and then it's been dull, but watching England bowl quite well, and then they'll come out with a bat and see a flourish and, seemingly a relatively easy victory. But there we go.
Don't want them to be cold, though. Get your blankets out. It's going to be cold later, I would imagine, but England doing their best then to win this game, restricting West Indies so far. There's only 12 overs to go, so what we got so far then? Shai Hope not out, 43 from 76. Mohammed's 22 from 25. At least I suppose he's started to try and get it going. 1-4 and 1-6. It's a lot to ask of him. Moeen Ali then, 10 overs, no maidens, 1 for 36. Plunkett and Rashid have got 4 between them. Curran's got 5 left. And Jake Ball's got 3 left. He's the one was taken apart by Chris Gale. And England just looking to get wickets now in the final 12 overs. Tom Curran's back on, 1 for 17 off 5. And Plunkett giving some advice there. And in comes Curran then, 1 for 17 off his 5. big wicket of Chris Gale. So it was a slower ball played on the leg side by Mohammed. Pick up a single. One more to the total. .175 for 3 in the 39th over. Curran coming on for Plunkett. So there's some gaps in the crowd. Not full by any means. There's no cricket ground in the east of the country. Nothing seems to be in a sort of straight line-ish. Comes Curran to Hope, pushes it forward and there's no run. Maybe Norwich could have a cricket ground.
A long way to go, wouldn't it? It's a bit of a trek. When you think about all the cricket grounds all around you, I wonder how many there are. There must be thousands. And an ever dwindling amount because of the price of real estate and the fact that they need more houses.
Comes Curran again. This one's short and dabbed down to third man by Mohammed.
There were 2 grounds within walking distance of where I live, and now there's only one.
Oh, really?
And there's a housing estate on one of them. If you drive up Cover Drive.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So that was quite clever, but rather there were 2 cricket pitches rather than a cleverly named street.
In comes Curran. This one's helped on its way by Hope. That'll be 4. It was going to be wide anyway.
Yeah, it was a poor ball and he just caught hold of it. He tried to flick it down leg side, and because that was his slow ball, and a lot of those he got straight. But when you don't get it straight, you're in big trouble, aren't you? And he went there. I don't mind that though. Like we said, that's how he got Gale out. Slow ball out the back of his hand, but he bowled it straight as a die that time.
Yes, he certainly did. And the first 4 of the innings for Shy Hope. As Curran comes in again, this time it's short. It's punched down to fine leg with 4 runs again. That was a 2 short. And it was a good shot that from Shy Hope, and he brings up his 50 as well after 79 balls.
Yeah, well done for getting a 50. Someone's got to be a linchpin, but unfortunately for them, they had 2 who were, playing good cop. And you need somebody at the other end who's probably punching away. So he wasn't a good combination with Marlon. They both probably had the same idea. But he's got a 50. He's a classy batsman.
Here comes Curran again. This is pulled down to fine leg by.
It's shocking bowling that. Curran's had a good debut, but it's all come to pieces there. He bowled a slow ball out the back of his hand, went down the leg side, and you think unlucky then, And then he bowls a pace ball down the leg side, and he's happy to. And then he follows it up with exactly the same ball. You just think, you've kind of lost it. A little bit of inexperience, or I don't know what that was, but he faced the Thunder now. He'd been having a good debut. He shouldn't beat himself up though. He's done all right. 6 overs, 1 for 32 for Curran.
Well, he just needs to think about do what he did in the first spell. Concentrate on that and don't worry about that last over. Nothing you can do about it now. It's done and dusted. Rashid will replace Ali. And he's speaking to Owen Morgan. No, he said Moen Organ then.
Moen and Owen.
Rashid continues. 2 overs left then. He's 0 for 28. Bowled superbly well. It's his second spell. Windies 189 for 3. With Jason Mohammed on strike. He's 24. More changes in the field. Get on with it.
Taking the time, aren't they?
Rashid comes in again. It's a flattered ball. Mohammed cut that one straight to backward point, no run. Yeah, it's just if you can get through 50 overs, fine, but it's all the dilly-dallying that goes off in between.
Yeah, there's a lot of faffing in there. England are not great for speed.
Rashid comes in. This one's cut away by Mohammed for a single.
I tell you what, Sri Lanka absolutely took the biscuit in their last tournament, didn't
they?
They were just terrible. And
remember that one we had? Was it me and you did it? I don't know if we did, but the 5 hours it took them to bowl.
Yeah. Their captain got suspended, didn't they, for a game or two? Not that that mattered because it wasn't Angelo Matthews, and then he came back from injury, didn't he? So.
Yeah. This one's pulled round the corner, too short by Rashid. That was quickly onto that was Hope, and he's opening his arms a little bit now. He's moved on to 16. It's 190.
Well, they've pressed the button, haven't they? They've got 10 overs to go, and they've got 7 wickets. So about time that they did pick it up. But it's not a good ball, that is it? And it was there to be hit.
No, it wasn't indeed. So what you got to work on now, Adil? And he comes now, tosses this one up to drive, and Mohammed and Chai Hope does that, only to deep cover, so he gets 195 for 3. Mohammed on strike then, 25 not out from 29 balls. Here comes Rashid. This one's lofted down the ground by Mohammed. That's a big shot. Has he fouled out? He has. Good catch that from Joe Root. Didn't seem to think he had enough there, Mohammed.
No, he didn't get to the pitch of it, Paul. He danced down and never got his front foot to the pitch, and he didn't get all of it. Slapped it up in the air. I never felt I was going to carry. Again, he frees himself up, but like I said, his feet don't move, so he's not hitting that on the half volley. It's a hopeful effort.
Yeah.
If he's waiting for just a short ball to hit, then I think he's got to roll his wrists over that and play it down, trying to hit a gap. It was just a poor shot from the standing skipper, and so Mohammed is out. And just at the point when they were ready to get cracking, they've lost a wicket, and again they've kind of got to look over their shoulders. It's just bad timing, that really.
Yeah, it's the wrong kind of decision that from Jason Mohammed, the skipper. Launched it down the ground. They had to be more positive, and if they push the button and over before the final 10 overs, then I suppose you forgive that, but it was a shame, really. Yeah, it certainly was. Yeah, he was just starting to free his arms a little bit, Mohammed, and try that shot. Didn't get enough on it, and it's straight into Joe Root's hands. And he doesn't drop many, doesn't Joe Root, and he's a good fielder. And the 4th wicket has fallen for the West Indies. 195, then 1 ball left in the 40th over. They're going to have to go some to get... Sunil Ambrish comes in now, batting at number 6.
Averaging 51, in his list day career, but he's actually an opening batsman, so it'd be interesting to see, how he goes or what he's got. He's only a relatively young man from St Vincent, the Windward Islands. I've never seen Ambrish before.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see what he's got.
So he's in for his debut then. And we're in number 99. And Rashid comes in now. 1 ball left of his over. And he gets him playing the leg side straight to a fielder. Is there thought of a run? No, they stick at that. So 40 overs gone. And the West Indies are 195 for 4.
Yeah, again, we're taking a look at the shot, and he just never quite got to the pitch of the ball, and so you don't quite get what you want. The short boundaries, but not short enough that he didn't clear them, and it was a good catch by Joe Root, out that little bit deeper. And so, the game is interesting. We have 10 overs. And can they do something meaningful? We'd be hoping so. The run rate is below 5 at the minute, 4.88. I was suggesting that they might struggle to get 270. And for me, I think England are 100 better than that. That's my opinion, but we'll see how we get on. So 195 for 4 then. So just in one ball of Curran's over. A good stop actually by Butler. Now again they're bowling to Shea Hope, and that one drilled straight to the man in the covers, and there is no run. So England doing pretty well, and still not ready to give too much away. England seem to be in charge. Next delivery, hit to the man back with a point, and there is no run. Yeah, decent crowd today. I said I think it's about 2/3 full. I think that's about right. 195 for 4 after 40.3 overs, and next delivery, and it's in the blocker. It's a beauty by Curran. Dug out well by Shea Hope.
Bowling better.
Yeah, it's a decent over so far. And Shea Hope not profiting, and typically, the struggle is continuing. So Curran back to his mark. He comes running in hard. Next delivery, taking the pace off it, and again he's flicked back with a point. No better than that though. And so Curran's doing all right.
I've seen one lad in the office here who maybe he works upstairs, I don't know, but he looks like Roland out of Tears for Fears.
All right.
Spitting image.
So I tried to think of a witty pun then, but
just nearly chopped on there. Ambrose still only faced the one ball.
Yeah, and 195 for 4. It's been a good over, a good comeback from Curran.
Yeah, you got. Is that maiden? Might even be a maiden, is it?
No, I think there was.
No, was it one off?
Just one off it from Shea Hope. But yeah, he'd done really well there. Curran's economy rate 4.57. The two spinners are both less than 4. Plunkett 4.5. Brilliant. Everybody bar Jake Ball has bowled well today, I think. And even then he was up against Gale, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, some good stuff really. I think Morgan's marshalled the troops okay. This will be the final over from Adil Rashid now. Next delivery takes the pace off it. Ambrose flicks the bat at that.
So what's wrong with West Indies today?
It's so unlike them, isn't it, really? I mean, it's very tentative and certainly not fluid. Next delivery, and he trying to follow the ball down leg side. It is wide because he didn't get anything on it. He tried to tickle it away. Not such a good ball this time from Rashid. He balls again down that leg side, and this time batsman follows him and he smashes it to the boundary. Poor ball that really. He'd sing his praises, but yeah, just one that got out of his hand a little bit there.
Shame that one, John, wasn't it? Really, it's just too short, and that's his bad ball, isn't it? That, and helped on its way by Ambrose. Really, not great that one at all.
No, it was poor.
And then again, as he's pushed into the covers, and there's no run.
Well, 200. Wow, been a long time coming, hasn't
yeah.
it? 200 for 4. Painstaking, really. He said they might get to 270 and be 100 short of where England will feel they might be. Next, there is going to be at least a single. It too long off.
I think it's taken about 22 overs to get 100 runs. So, you know, it's just not great. You know, the surface is what it is. It looks an alright surface, but
Next delivery, and that's slapped up in the air. Could be a catch. It is a catch by Joe Root. In fact, no, he spilt it and it's gone down. And in the end, well, he had to make up some ground. Rashid there can't believe it. He didn't look daggers at Joe Root, but he's a bit upset. Let's take a look from one angle. It looked like he got there.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? He'll be really disappointed with himself, Joe. It looked like he'd made all the ground into the hands, and as soon as it's looked down, it's come on quicker than it had done. In fact, it's bounced up and hit him in the face as well, which is not going to help him at all. And there's a drop. There's also a chance of a run out. The throw came in from Root, but hopes well in.
So next delivery, fuller ball, drilled forward, but only one run to Joe Root. He picks it up nice and cleanly this time.
It's the end of the over. 10 overs, 1 for 42 from Adil Rashid. That's excellent, isn't it? That, and he could have had another wicket as well. Really, really good stuff from the Yorkshire leggy. In fact, the two spinners as well have gone for 78. 2 for 78 off their 20. Really good stuff from those two. And now it's left to Ball, Curran and Plunkett to mop it up, isn't it now?
Yeah, they've got work to do, particularly Ball. I mean, at times it had not looked as if he knew how to find a way out of a little run where if he gets it, what's his next ball? He's like a bunny caught in their headlights when that had happened to him. Curran has come back from being hit hard and come back with some good stuff. I mean, he threw in a poor slower ball, but did another one the next over. We see a hooky pull. That's good enough for 4. Just one bounce, leg side. Ambrice hitting home, but like I said, he's an opener. He's not a bad batsman at all to bring in late in the order, and he's 10 from 7. He's doing all right.
Yes, he's helping out there, isn't he? Too short that from Curran. Needs to pitch it up a little bit. Sort of faffing on with his hair as well. Here comes Curran again.
Next delivery, and he works it to mid-wicket.
Yeah. So Ambrice 11 off 8. He's getting going. Hope 62.
So yeah, England still very much on top, I would have said. They played pretty well today. Next delivery. It's a fuller delivery. I like that he's coming up with all sorts of different answers. He's thinking through his game, what he wants to do. You can see there's a lot going on with him, and I think he'd be pretty pleased so far. Certainly, the economy rates, he's very decent, And
he's around about. He's playing his first ODI, and he's around about where Liam Plunkett is, isn't he? So,
right, next delivery. And a little spin and a flick by the batsman.
In terms of runs conceded, there's not much between him and Plunkett. So, yeah, good start from Curran. If you could just finish it as well, that'd be even better.
So 209 for 4. Fifth ball over from Curran. It's again. Slow ball, it's a beauty that. Batsman does well just to flick it away, but he gets a single. And yeah, Curran keeps coming up with that slow ball, 66 mile an hour. But if it's aiming at the wicket, it just doesn't give much scope to hit that ball hard. And he gets to flick it away in the end. He only gets a single. So 210 for 4. Never mind, I don't think they're going to get 270.
No.
Curran to finish the over off. Short ball, it's slapped up in the air, but it drops just over the shoulder of Plunkett, who can't get there. Just unlucky, really, I would have said. But yeah, he's bowling really well. He's mixing it up. He can bowl at 66 mile an hour. It's on the wicket, and his next ball is then sort of 84, 85. in the same place, and working between those two variations of stock and slow ball. It's so hard for the batsman. It must scramble your brain doing that.
Yeah, we don't quite know what delivery's coming out. Expect one or the other. Curran's got something. He's shaking his head. He's not particularly happy. But Jake Ball will come on now to replace Adil Rashid. And Ball has bowled well in his last 2 overs since he was marmalised by Chris Gale earlier on. And he's reduced his economy rate from over 10 to 8.14, and he'll be looking to put pressure now on Shai Hope and Sunil Ambriss, who is I think he's in his first ODI, is that right?
Yeah, they only showed his first class batting average because I think he's on debut, so yeah. 212 for 4 is Jake Ball now. Ball back in hand for him. The run rate is still less than 5. It's just not enough, is it? There's 7 overs left. There's this delivery. Well, he took the pace off it. There's a slap by Ambriss and picked up at the third man boundary for just a single. Again, ball at 70 mile an hour. That's a slow ball from him. He'd be watching Curran thinking, how did he do that?
Yeah,
he bowls out the back of his hand, Curran, where I think ball might just be more scrambled seam and just take a bit less effort, really. Right, what's he got for his second delivery? He comes running in to Shai Hope, and Shai Hope smashes that one up in the air into the stand. That's a big hit off a half tracker again. I've got to say it's a poor ball, that.
78 miles an hour. That's not good enough. Too short, pulled. Yeah, it's a biggie that from Hope, and that's an excellent shot as well. And that's just a poor ball that from Jake Ball. Huge 6.
Yeah, it sure was. Big hit. Anyway, 219 for 4. And what's he got? Ball next delivery. I think was all right. Pitched and seaming in. It's a slight miss hit by Hope, who looks at his bat, examines the damage. Where's he looking to play that? Well, they just show us the big 6. I don't mind. It's a lovely shot, but it was another sip and beg delivery, and that's Ball's downfall.
Yeah.
He's a big man, and when he strays a bit, a bit short, he just gets it. And the pitched up this time, drilled to Plunkett, or in fact that's Roy at long off.
So he's 81 miles an hour now because he's tired, getting on, tired a bit. It's not what we need. We've already got Anderson and Broad, who are sort of, low 80s bowlers. We don't need a third.
No, it's right. Particularly junior partner who can't put the ball where he wants. Bowling it short in Australia, you're going to get chinned.
Yeah, and at that pace.
Yeah, I mean, but I think physically he has the wherewithal. Next delivery is good line and length, and this one's a big hit toward the boundary, but there's a man there, and it's a great catch, and Ball has struck. It was a steepling hit from Shai Hope, but it's cost him his wicket. 221 for 5. Hope go. I mean, he's got to go for that, hasn't he? But yeah, it was a nice big hit that.
Yeah, it was indeed. He had to try and fetch it, didn't he? He never got enough. It was always going aerial, props to the longest part of the ground, and Sam Billings was there, just perfect. Watched it all the way, stuck his hands above his head, and took a great catch. And he was a couple of yards in from the maybe a yard in from the rope anyway. So, but a fine knock from Shai Hope in the end, at least trying to keep the innings going, but trying to get the scoreboard up has cost him his wicket.
Yeah, I mean, it sure has. But I think. I mean, he's got to try. He's played pretty well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he'd be pleased. With his general performance, if you like.
Yeah, I agree. They've got themselves something here, haven't they? Anyway, for England to chase. You never know if they get Alzari Joseph bowling the way he did do the other day. You never know, England looking to go on the holidays. Might be not at the races.
Yeah, it's right. You know, it's such a small total to get, though. I mean, frightening, really. You think they'd fall over the line. They could do it in 20 overs, England, couldn't they, with this lineup? And you just... it's only complacency or brilliant bowling, but you can only bowl well with a ball that's maybe seaming around or doing something. The ball's done nothing today. Next, the delivery hit to Roy in the field. A good throw back. They take just a single. 222 for 5. And that's the end of balls over. And yeah, well, we said 270. I didn't think that was going to be a great score today, when for me the shorter boundaries, the range for England, I think 370.
Yeah,
I think 350 comfortably to 370 at a push. And I was saying I think they're probably 100 runs better than the opposition. Anyway, all this means I think the second half of today is going to go relatively quickly, and I think there was no rain scheduled or anything like it, so we should be good. But we may get a slightly earlier finish given the lack of runs on the board from West Indies. They've got 6 overs to get it right, but they've got Liam Plunkett. He's only been going at 4.5 and over. And this next delivery blocked away for a single.
Well, you keep chipping away, don't they, here? Laughing his head off there is Ambrose. And debut, 16 from 13. Rovman Powell is the new batsman, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, Rovman Powell can hit a big shot, hit a 6, whatever. But he doesn't tend to be around for too long. He's one big shot and then caught at the rope, you know. That's his MO, really. Anyway, this next delivery, it's shorter ball, slight disguise with it. And another single is all that's on. 224 for 5. Run rate is just crept over 5, but it won't be enough.
Mushfiqur Rahim's out for Bangladesh for a breezy 44 from 57. 109 for 3 Bangladesh.
Next delivery, and well, Ambrose tries a little late cut there, but you've got to hit the ball, and he couldn't quite manage it, so Plunkett gets a dot, and he looks fairly happy today. Happy camper. So
he's in danger of going for 90 odd, isn't he, again, ball? So
here comes Liam Plunkett, 4th ball of the over. It's a good ball, that. I think decent line of length, maybe took a bit of pace off it, seaming into the right-hander. Actually took a bit of pace off it, 85 miles an hour. I don't think so. He didn't look quite as quick as that, but anyway.
He's doing well, isn't he, Liam Plunkett? Still got an over left after this, and he's only gone for 39 or something. You know, he's quite happy to let him have singles, you know.
Next delivery, and another mistimed effort. Plunkett fields off his own bowling this time. So yeah, they aren't exactly thriving.
It's like an old-fashioned one-day international, this, John, isn't it?
It is a bit like back in the day, yeah, or England 4 years ago.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I mean,
the start of 2015.
Yeah, building blocks. Let's get some building. Let's not get building blocks. Let's just hit the ball hard and keep hitting it hard. I much prefer England nowadays. Ball dabbed down into the ground. Maybe it's a sea changer. I think that Brendan McCullum should take a bow for the way that England changed.
Yeah.
There's that next ball, just a single. That's the 9th over from Plunkett, 1 for 41. 5 overs left to get. The only problem really is that unless he bowls Joe Root, which I would do, then he's got to probably finish ball off, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it might be good for ball's experience, you know. See what you got in the last over. But he's the one who's got the most tap today. Good over that from Plunkett. 1 for 41 off 9. Looking good. All the bowlers have contributed some way though. All of them with 1 wicket each. 5 overs to go. Can West Indies get to 300?
Good question. Here comes ball. He might help them. Next delivery, and it's slung wide, and that will go for 4. He's giving him a helping hand, isn't he? Doing all he can.
Well, it's ball, isn't it? The Champions Trophy ball, isn't it? 1 for 90.
Yeah.
Or 0 for 90.
Yeah, he's not a good fit, is he? I mean, Chris Jordan. Throw that name into the equation.
Yeah.
He couldn't do any worse, could he? So, yeah, it's an interesting game, this one, but one that England are probably going to walk away with. I'd like to watch cricket, and I guess it's a bonus that it's happening at all this time of year. The floodlights on at 9 minutes past 4 on a Friday afternoon. But what else are you going to be doing? Plenty of sport on today, and I'm personally looking forward to
what's coming up later, John?
The Leeds Rhinos taking on Hull FC in the playoff game at Headingley. Who's going to meet the Castleford Tigers at Old Trafford Theatre of Dreams, the title of Super League champs. That's a lovely shot, flicked off the heels of Ambrose, but it's a poor ball, over pitched and leg side from ball. So he's throwing away England's good work at ball with some really poor stuff.
I like the look of this Ambrose. Nice little flick there.
Yeah, well, like you said, if you're an opening batsman, technically you should be pretty good, and he's showing that he can put the bad ball away.
Yeah. But
Jake Ball looks a busted flush today. Yeah. Next delivery, a bit better. Decent line length, he took the pace off it, so it's dabbed to the man back with a point. Rashid for just a single. Well, I mean, what does Morgan think? Oh, because Ball's getting hit by everybody, I'll bowl him out. I mean, he's got to have more thoughts than that. At a certain point, particularly bearing in mind that Moeen Ali and Rashid had bowled with the best and most economical Connery rates, why can't I squeeze some overs out of Joe Root? Too late for that now, really. Next delivery, and that one just glanced the man back with a point. When it looked like Rashid and Ali were working, then you squeeze some Joe Root overs in, surely. As soon as Gale was out, he squeezed some more Jake Ball overs. I thought that was quite clever. But anyway, the good news is he's only got 8 balls left to bowl, Jake Ball. And here we go. Leg side, full. A drill toward the boundary. That's a great stop by Bairstow. And he saves 4 runs there, alright.
Yeah, really, really good that from Johnny Bairstow. Brilliant in the deep. Brilliant all-round cricketer, isn't he?
Yep. He is probably making up for his earlier poor bit of fielding. When one-armed pick-up, he didn't quite get right, and the ball reached the boundary. Next delivery, took a bit of pace off that. It's quite a clever ball, and I think they might have run 2. It's possible. So 2 for 1 for 5, only 4 overs left. One ball over to Thrive off. He'd gone for too many today.
Yes, so England will be chasing something. It's a platform for West Indies. I imagine England and Jason Roy in particular to get off to a good start. But it's just going to be tough, isn't it, for maybe England. They lose a couple of wickets, but depends who wants to get on the plane or go home the soonest, doesn't it, really, chasing what it is. Yeah.
They've left themselves with a lot to do in these last 4 overs. I guess 270 is on. The run rate 5.24. 4 overs then. gets him nearly there, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Curran then, who's bowled fairly well today, comes in again that slower delivery, and the batsman tickles it away, the offside for one, and that puts Ambrose back on strike. Ambrose is, he's one of the few batsmen today, Gale aside, he's got over strike rate and over 100 strike rate. 31 from 21.
Yep. It's a good start to his ODI career, isn't it, for Ambrose?
So Curran comes in again. Again, he's taking that pace off it. Slightly mistimed shot, but they'll get a single for it. So
most Yorkers bowled since the ICC Cricket World Cup 2015. Malinga, no surprise there. Stark, no surprise there either.
Rabada, he does bowl good, Yorker, yeah. Holders up there. I like Jasprit Bumrah and good, and Hassan Ali again. Chris Woakes, that's quite surprising. I don't seem to think he bowls that many, and Stokes slings in a mixed bag, doesn't he? So that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, Curran comes in again. Slow ball. Powell wound up to hit that one out of the stadium. Never mind out the stand, but he corkscrewed himself into the ground for that another slow ball out the back of the hand.
Yeah. Thank God if he went for that. There would have been a wide, I would imagine, but yeah, a good one that there from Curran.
Anyway, Powell now will be thinking, he bowls slowly, this kid. Is this going to be the quicken? I don't know what that was, but neither the shot. He turned the bat over in his hand and flicked it forwardly to another slow delivery. I'm getting bamboozled even watching Curran now. I don't know what he's bowling. And if you're the batsman, you haven't got a clue, have you?
No, you think you've just got to watch the ball, haven't you, and wait for it and be patient.
I'm thinking he bowled a slow ball. Surely he's not going to follow it up with another, but he does that time and time again. You wouldn't want to play poker with this kid. He strayed a little bit leg side and got hit for a few fours, but by and large, he has been pretty good. That's a wide, though.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, yeah.
Commentators curse.
Another slower ball, 68 miles an hour, so...
that third slow ball on the bounce, and you think, well, he's risking it there, but surely, batsman doesn't expect that, does he?
No, out the back of the hand, isn't it, really, that one? I was unlucky, though. Because he very nearly found the edge, didn't he?
Yeah, it's good watching this guy. I'm really warming to young Curran. Next ball seams into the right-hander, who mistimes his shot, but gets enough on it. It's just a single. This is not hurting England at all, though. The odd single here and there. At this stage, that he's not going for, 16 and over, stands him in real good stead. And that ball, he didn't bowl out the back of his hand, but he took the pace off it a different way.
Yeah. Trying to get a Yorker length, wasn't he, there as well?
Again, that was scrambled seam, wasn't it, that he used to slow the ball up. Maybe he didn't want to signal out the back of his hand, and maybe the batsman beginning to sort of take a close look at what position his hand and arm are at when it comes over. You'd have to watch this kid like a hawk. But I'm enjoying it. One ball left for Curran in the over. And it's a short ball that spits up and chins Rovman Powell. he just didn't have a clue, and he's done by slow ball again. 66.3. And you think, how many slow balls can he get away with? Just about 5 or 6 and over, can't he?
And he's cursing himself there for bowling a wide. So, credit to him, he's done well there. Really good stuff from Tom Curran. 9 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 46 so far. So he's got another over to go.
He can't get through this for some food quick enough. Absolutely, Hank Marvin.
Yeah, breakfast was a long time ago.
2 slices of toast. That's all I've had today.
That's some granola.
I feel, they should get slow release, but I bet that's all gone by now. Mine died of death about 3 hours ago, my breakfast.
Yeah.
Late brekker. And unless England get sorted out quickly, there'll be no curry night for me either.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Curry Friday, isn't it?
It's made a mess of my whole schedule.
I do have a curry waiting for me in the fridge at the moment.
I'll make sure it's not in the freezer and you can't defrost it.
Yeah.
Plunkett then chucks in a short ball. Ambris on his heel, gets on top of it and finds the man at the rope. But it's Bairstow who, since letting one slip through him, has been fucked perfect. Plunkett back to his mark, running in, and this one, it looks like it's travelled a long way. It's over the rope. It's a big hit, and it's a typical Rovman Powell shot. What he tended to do was, if Plunkett now throws a short ball in, but throws it a little bit wider for him to fetch, he'll go for the same shot.
Yeah.
That ball was a short ball that was arrowing into the body. It wasn't such a bad ball, but he actually hit that well. I'm saying your ball went a bit wider for him to fetch across, and he'd probably end up spooning it. He's got one idea in his head now, Powell. Oh, what a ball from Plunkett! And, well, he's yoked him there. Full toss is taking his off stump. Once Powell hits one big, you just know that he's opened up.
Yeah.
And he's going to go for something ridiculous next shot. Plunkett, I think, did it, it was an even better idea than I had. And that was just to fling it at the wickets.
That's what you want to see, isn't it, from your as you're a bowler. You've just been hit for 6. The next one you bowl a Yorker, or almost full toss, didn't you, ball, and it takes out the off stump of Rovman Powell there. That was good, that from Liam Plunkett.
He won his little duel there, didn't he? I mean, and that's Powell down to the tee.
Yeah.
One big hit and then he's out, It's weird that when you've got the ability to, I mean, imagine that you can smash it over the top like him with relative ease. He's such a strong man. But then he was harebrained him. He almost danced out the way of his wickets there, didn't he? Look at these 3 beauties. Which one do you want to hit? Well, the off stump will do nicely.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I love that. Another wicket then for Plunkett. 2 for 48 in his 10th. 96 ODI wickets he's taken now.
Well, another dangerous pinch hitter, he's sent back to the stands, and that's not what they were after at all, is it?
No.
Yeah. England's job not quite done just yet, but they keep getting closer to it. There aren't many balls. I mean, again, Powell's 11 from 9. In the grand scheme of things, he needed to be there to the death, pinch hitting and hitting a few big uns. Nurse will try and do that. Ashley Nurse, at times the worst and best fielder for West Indies.
Yeah.
Last time we saw him, he did some tremendously bad and good stuff, and he is either a great or poor fielder. As well, this time England make a mess in the field. Was that Rashid? Ball went through him. It's a good pickup though by Roy in the deep.
I think it was Morgan again. Yeah.
Morgan, wow.
Yeah, he's been prone to a couple of those in the last couple of games, Morgan. Such a good fielder at times as well.
He put in one brilliant stop, didn't he, from one lazy shot, but yeah, he maybe already thinking about how he's going to make it work with his batting. It's a full toss. It's hit straight to the fielder by Ashley Nurse. Morgan's under pressure, and had he not been skipper, he would have been dropped, I think. They would have tried somebody else. And one of the benefits of having the skipper's armband, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Next delivery, and that's worked off middle and legs. A lovely shot. Despairing dive at the rope from Bairstow, but he won't get there this time. And a bit of a mini celebration.
Yeah, back to your Morgan point, you would be looking, wouldn't you? If he wasn't captain, you'd be looking for somebody else.
Oh, I mean, we looked at his latest run, didn't we? I mean, when you read the scores that he's got in the last 12 innings, it's ludicrous, you know.
Yeah.
You'd think he was a tail ender.
Well, you'd be having Roy back in and Bairstow in, wouldn't you? You know, if they hadn't have dropped Hales, then you know, there'd be no place for Morgan. So, sort of limping a little bit there.
Yeah, overextended himself there. Anyway, that was the end of the over. Curran is going to bowl next, and then I guess it'd be Jake Bull to finish off, but not sure about that.
I would imagine, well, for OCD people, it would be best.
Here is Curran. He's bowled all right, and that was played off the middle stump by Ambris, who takes a single. Too long off.
A fine little knock this is from Ambris, isn't it? 35 from 25.
Yeah, it's a nice camera. It's exactly what you want from a batsman, isn't it? Hasn't got tied down. Has done fairly well. So, Ashley Nurse 6 from 3. They're ready to fling and get what they can. 260 for 6. I'd said 370 would be about 100 shot. That's a lovely slow ball. And that bamboozles wicket keeper as well. He's thinking, is that going to come into my gloves? No, it's not. He had to stop it with his pads in the end. Just absolutely done up like a kipper. Everybody.
A little bit of extra bounce, wasn't there?
And that's such a brave ball at this stage, you know. Right then, Curran running in again. So he got this time. Well, this time the slow ball is picked up. It's in the slot and it travels over the rope. It's a majestic big hit, that.
Wow. He picked that up, didn't he, Ashley Nurse? Straight away, that speed of 67. He picked up the slow ball out the back of the hand and he just stood his lines, and Nurse just watched that straight down the crown. Huge 6. Great shot.
Yeah, it's a massive shot, that. Massive.
I tell you what, there's some appalling catches or drop catches in the crowd. The fielders there.
The crowd have been
awful.
rubbish.
Yeah.
But
this one's gone skywards as well. Has somebody underneath it though this time?
Ooh.
I think he's gone for 6. Did Plunkett drop it?
I don't know. I need to take another look at that. I think maybe he got a hand to it, so you might just say that it was. But
I think he was facing away. Maybe it was just had enough to get over the boundary anyway.
Big 6 though, wasn't it? I mean, he fetched after that, and he got it. Plunkett was underneath it. Looked like he was going to catch it.
He's always over the top, isn't he? So
it's difficult that, because he's catching it over his shoulder over the rope.
Yeah.
And well, poor Curran thought he got another wicket there. Not quite. Next ball of the over is a full toss or a yorker, if you like. They take a single. There isn't really any more than that.
Yeah, good work from Mo and Ali. They kept it down to 1. Yeah. Plunkett couldn't go anywhere, could he? I think even if he'd have took it, his momentum would have taken him over the line. So that would have been a 6 anyway. So never easy, that. So I think that was going to be 6 anyway. So just 1 ball left in the over then from Curran, end of his first spell.
Next delivery, another full toss, and that one's dug out well by the batsman, looking for a cow corner 4, but it's picked up by Mo and Ali. They'll get just 2. 10 overs, 1 for 62 for Curran. That's all right.
Yeah.
He bowled with lots of promise. At times got a little bit ragged, but he's, you know, maybe a bit of a lack of experience was showing there. But that's good. It's a good effort. I think that must have been his mum and his brother in the crowd.
That's right, yeah.
They didn't half look like him.
That's Sam. Is it Sam Curran, his brother, who plays for Surrey as well? I think. Yeah. Yeah. Well done. One day international debut for him. 1 for 62. You'd take that. Now then, Jake Ball, what have you got to stop you going to 90 again?
Well, you know, they're creeping towards a respectable score. It could be 300 after this over if they get it right. There'll be some big hits. Nurse, he's 19 from 7, so he's in the mood and he's on strike. So, yeah, it could be Good end for Windies. Like I said, I think they're way short. They're going to have to bowl England out, and I think with little assistance from the pitch, they're not going to do that unless something ridiculous happens, or England are overconfident, or it's very hard to see Windies winning this. Anyway, ball will bowl. Final over. Starts off with a slightly slower ball that they take just single off. He pitched that up. It was a bit of a risk. As long as if you pitch it up, I think you need to bowl it that little bit wider, and he did just that.
Yeah.
You can't pitch it up to Ashley Nurse and put it in the slot for him. It'll travel. But it's not easy bowling at the death.
No.
You know, you just ask Ben Stokes about that.
Yeah.
You can think all you like about, oh, it'd be easy, I'll put it here or there, but you get caught, lost in the moment. This next delivery is an inside edge. He followed the batsman to some degree. They take a single off that, but that's a good ball from Jake Ball.
You'd take that, wouldn't you? Just allow them a single, trying to bowl the ball in the block hole all the time, you know, just stopping them from any room, any length, any width. Just get it right up there and stop them from getting some runs. Give them a single, it's fine.
Sure is. Ball comes back. What's he got this time? Nothing short, please. Well, that's a decent looking shot off one leg. 1 or 2 bounces and then it goes for 4. You accept that at this stage. I think slightly over pitch, slightly wider, and no problem with that ball. It's just a good, a bit, if desperate shot.
Well, Nurse is just biffing this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Getting down a one shot. Anything of any short of a length is just using his arc just to smash the ball away. It's too wide that from Ball. You can see what he's trying to do, but
it's sort of, yeah, it's a bit like evasive action, but he hasn't quite got that right.
He's been asked for a licence to throw the bat as the Nurse, and Ball's feeding him at the moment. Get it up there.
Ball then, 4th ball of the over. Dill scoop, and well, again, he didn't go where quite as expected, but it still goes for 4 over the top of Root's head. I've never seen one quite go down there, but Nurse, he's doing really well here. 28 from 10 he is now.
I thought he hit that twice then, but it's way outside. No, it's come off right off the middle of the bat there. And interesting invention that from Ashley Nurse.
Yeah, I mean, it's premeditated Dill scoop, and the ball too was hard to hit, but he still managed it. Got to give him a lot of credit for that shot. Risky, premeditated, all those things, but effective. 5th ball the over, and he fetches this one up in the air. Where's it gone? Well, it's plugged before it reaches the boundary row, but they'll get 2.
He's just bowling too wide. He's really knocked him off his stride now, Jake Ball.
I mean, he tilts a little bit when he gets hit. I don't think he comes up with the great answers.
No.
But anyway, he has only got 1 ball left. In theory, this could go for 6 and he'd be 1 for 99. Not great figures. Right, next ball, and well, they're going to take a single off that. So in the end, 288 for 6, and they finished. We'll be back in about half an hour's time with the resumption and England's innings. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel he's short, a run rate of 5.76. Typically, Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end, it was pretty disappointing. Some big hitting by Ashley Nurse at the death. And like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel he's short, a run rate of 5.76. Typically, Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. in the middle order. Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. we feel is short at a run rate of 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5-6s, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short at a run rate of 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5-6s, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short at a run rate of 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5-6s, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short at a run rate of 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5-6s, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short at a run rate of 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5-6s, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short at a run rate of 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5-6s, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the fifth Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the fifth Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the fifth Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the fifth Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the fifth Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the fifth Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and So a disappointing score, 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score, 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score, 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score, 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score, 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score, 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, And like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going, and so in the end it was pretty disappointing. It's a big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England had won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Hope and Marlon Samuels really struggled to to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball for about 5 sixes, but it didn't add up to a hill of beans, and so a disappointing score. 288 for 6. England should knock that off. We'll be back at approximately 5 o'clock with the resumption. England have won the toss in the 5th Royal London One Day International, put West Indies into bat. 288 for 6. We feel is short, a run rate 5.76. Typically Gale got them off to a flying start, but they didn't really thrive. In the middle order, Shea Up and Marlon Samuels really struggled to gain any traction and get going. And so in the end it was pretty disappointing. So big hit by Ashley Nurse at the death, and like we said, Gale started off like a house on fire, hitting Jake Ball.
Well, welcome back for our coverage of the England's reply to West Indies, who set 288 for 6. England require 289 to win then from their 50 overs. West Indies got there by a combination of brutality at the start through Chris Gale, 40, and then some slow middle order batting between Marlon Samuels and Shai Hope. Shai Hope out for 72, and some bruising stuff at the end from Ashley Nurse and Sunil Ambriss. Got them up to 288 for 6. England bowlers, pick of the bowlers was Liam Plunkett, 2 for 54. Tom Curran bowled very well on debut, 1 for 62. Adil Rashid 1 for 42. Moeen Ali 1 for 36. Jake Ball picked up a wicket but also went for 94. Jerome Taylor will be the opening bowler for the West Indies, and let's see what he can do in this 5th Royal One Day International. And just the one game left. Jason Roy in his opening batsman for England with Johnny Bairstow. Expect Joe Root to come in at 3. Jason Roy, 48 games. Jerome Taylor back to his mark. Bairstow, 32 matches. Best score of 100 not out at Old Trafford in the first One Day International. And in comes Jerome Taylor. 2 slips in for Roy. This one, Roy goes after this one, carves this down to third man, picks up a single. And England are off and running. And Jason Roy will bat how he normally bats.
Yeah, he's a pinch hitter, he's got good hand-eye, and you know, he could score runs quickly. When it doesn't work for him, he can look really ordinary, and he hasn't got technique to bail him out. Today the ball's not seaming around, not really doing anything, so the assumption would be that he's got a great opportunity to get in amongst it today.
And Johnny Bairstow's first ball, he's waiting. Played more sedate the other day. Taylor's in. Bairstow pushes forward into the covers, wants a single, will get one as well. England try to utilise the power play a lot, don't they, to get themselves a start. And I imagine that'll be the same here. Trying to force the West Indies back. We'll be score up to 70 or 80 runs in this power play. Chris Gale looks cold. 2 jumpers on. Hands in pockets. Can't be pleasant, can it?
Cold and a little fed up.
Yeah. Taylor then. And he comes to Jason Roy. Roy leaves that one alone through to Hope. Shy Hope, who keeps the has the gloves and the one-day international side anyway. There's plenty of others who have it for test match games. Alzari Joseph, we just see him. Moody cricketer, reminds me of Rabada. Moody cricketer, but exceptionally talented at 20 years old. And can only get better if he's coached the right way. In comes Taylor. Roy pushes into the covers, but there's no run. Straight to a fielder. And see Stuart Law there, the Australian coach of the West Indies. Not had a bad. I know that if they lose here, they'll lose this series 4-0. But we've seen glimpses of them kind of getting better, the West Indies, haven't we? You know, they've a few tweaks here and there, especially in the Test team, I think.
Listen, nothing was expected, and they've found a few bright spots, haven't they? They've learnt a little bit, haven't they, about what they've got, and I think it'd be disappointing, really. They probably, if they'd have played us 5 times at T20, it might have been a different result, but it is what it is. You know, it's Test match cricket, 5 one-days, and if they end up losing 4-0 in the one-days, then they're not exactly going to be patting themselves on the back.
No. It probably sounds worse than it actually is, isn't it, really, I think. But they just haven't got the overall game yet right, have they, in one-day cricket, as this one's driven by Roy to backward point. There's no run. End of the over then, 2 from it.
I mean, in the Test matches, you know, it was slight vagary that they got that thumping victory after some thumping defeats, but yeah, what can you take out of this? It's supposed to be a fairly good over, limited overs cricket, but you know, it's just been a walk in the park for England, really, and they've been so disappointing. I think, you know, we were waiting for the big guns to come. Gale, been good watching him and all that, but not enough strength in depth, really, and the bowling, we're used to a phalanx of strong, quick West Indian bowlers being the dominant force hard to cope with. They've been hot and cold. Alzari Joseph, though, is certainly, if he can continue the vein of form that he showed last time out, can do something, can be a bright spark. He's only 20. So it's just 1 or 2 of these young kids coming through have looked quite good.
And he comes now, Joseph then, first ball short, pulled, and Bairstow rather plays the shot before it's reached him. I think he hit him in the helmet there, didn't it? I mean, the pace of that one was down, but it was his first delivery. What did he do it? Yes, it came off. It came off his sort of wrist and hit Johnny Bairstow in the visor. To wake him up a bit.
Yeah, that's the wake-up call, isn't it, really? You weren't taking it seriously before then. But Joseph, I think he'd only played in 1 test, didn't he? They put him away after that.
Yeah, he got the bad day nighter, didn't he? The first one.
But the ball wasn't doing much for any, and not everybody coped with that ball. It did a lot, didn't it? At times, it was hard to cope with that for an experienced player.
Yeah, I think in a couple of years' time we might see a different West Indies and a far more attacking. Once the Gale show has sort of died a death, Samuels is out of the team. and Holder's been allowed to bring through what he wants as Alzara Joseph comes in. Lovely shot from Bairstow, whip through mid-wicket. That'll be 4 runs, and it is 4 runs as well. And England move on to 6 without loss in the second over. You know, all the Holders had to nurse through all these players whilst the other lads have been earning a big fortune and that, and which is their right to do, which is fine.
Yeah, of course it is,
you know, and you know, I think you'll see, you know, your Jason Mohammeds are getting more game time now, and Shai Hope is certainly one for the future as well, isn't he? So, you know.
Well, every player's got to look at their own personal development, and if that's, you know, we've seen Rashid go to the Big Bash and things like that, you know.
Joseph's in, this one's off the hips by Bairstow, backward a square, pick up a single, move on to 7 without loss. Yeah, exactly. They've got to do what's right for them in particular. The problem is that because of the fallout between the WICB and the top stars, they're lagging behind. But they didn't win. They didn't win as a test team with Gale in the team anyway.
No, exactly. I mean, it's got to be bendable. I mean, if you remember, Ben Stokes was in IPL and didn't start all, you know, the summer games, did he? So you've got to be flexible with your talent, I think.
In comes Joseph. This one's just driven down the ground. And there's no run. I think I do start the IPL a couple of weeks earlier, then it's all sorted. Sort out the West Indies summer and the English summer as well when it starts. And then you get them all the time, wouldn't you, for them? I think some players who England not in the test team for England are going to be hopefully selected in the Big Bash, which starts in December. The South African one starts in November, I think, as well, and Jason Roy's in that. So he's going to be playing plenty of cricket now until next year. Joseph comes in again, short pulled by Roy. That's a nice shot as well through mid-wicket. That'll be 4 as well. It's too short from the young Joseph. 85 miles an hour, but you've got to pitch it up. 11 without loss, 9 from that over. Roy's on 5, Bairstow 6. Yeah,
it's disappointing delivery, that. Bit of a Jake Ball special, wasn't it? Sit up and beg kind of delivery. That it got what it deserved, really.
Certainly is. We're starting back early again after the. We didn't get us full quota then, did we?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm still trying to choke my food down.
Yeah.
Didn't get long, did we?
No.
This is what I didn't have a pudding.
Why is it always the lunch people that are penalised when it's late starting?
It's just not right at all. No right to my MP.
Right to the ECB, I think. 11 right to your MP. In comes Jerome Taylor. This one's pushed forward and there's no run.
But my MP I actually used to go to school with.
Did you?
And she was in my class, yeah. So she'd know to ignore.
Yeah. Everybody looks freezing on that balcony. Jerome Taylor, another one who's not playing Test cricket. I think he's retired actually from Test cricket, but not too sure. But not seen much announcement from it. But he should be playing. In comes Taylor again. This one's got Bairstow driving for a single, and he gets one. See, that was the kind of shots that West Indies weren't taking. Bairstow's just driven it to mid-off, picked up a single, and the West Indies weren't bothered at all.
Yeah, they were lackadaisical, weren't they? Didn't get many singles, didn't keep the scoreboard ticking over, didn't get boundaries in the middle overs. Didn't do much, really. Good start, decent finish by Nurse, good start by Gale. In between, wasn't particularly good at all.
Just in the corner of my eye, there's a TV screen on as well, which has got the racing on. That's not a bad job, is it? Driving one of them vans chasing the horse race, the horses around, is it?
Job for me, that.
That's what I'm bad for.
Sat down, driving your Citroen,
just following the horses around the course.
Yeah. Nice place to be inside one of those luxurious Citroen cars.
Yeah.
Radio 2 on. Serious jockeying with Steve Wright.
Just follow the nags around.
I like the drive time as well, particularly on a Friday.
They have the I think they have the confessions or something.
Oh, they do all that. Simon Mayo, it's quite good.
And comes Taylor off the back foot. Roy plays this down to third man, wants a single. We'll get a single as well. 13 with that loss.
Not everyone's a winner. I had to suffer listening to Alec Jones this morning. It's a wind-up.
What was he? Who's he on for?
He was doing tracks of my years, but of course he'd presented lots for BBC. So he's talking about
Kane Bruce, Sportmaster.
Yeah, so he, not bad. So he was doing his Big I Ams, and this means a lot to me.
Yeah. Taylor comes into Bairstow.